This is It's Up There podcast. I want to say welcome. Thank you for being here. You could be anywhere in the world. I got this new soundboard from Rose, so I'm just getting used to it. I want to thank everybody for being here, man. You know who you rocking with, Big Loon. It's Up There podcast, fastest growing podcast in the world, biggest show in the world. The Coach's Elevator, the Coach's Information Spot, the Coach's Entertainment Hub, the Coach's everything. You're dealing with it, looking at it in front of us. So I want to thank you, welcome you, and say, listen, if you ain't been here before, make sure you come back here. This is where we doing agriculture at, right? A lot of people doing a lot of things, and we respect a lot of things in the game. But over here is just a little something different, and we loud about that because it took us longer, right? It's hard to co-sign something that's different than you because different than you may change the whole algorithm. But moving forward, man, if you right now, you my supporter, go to Pateron.com. It's Up There podcast. Make sure you get there, support the vibrations. We got a heavy court week. So we're going to talk about some of the Gunner situation. Gunner and Thug, NBA YoungBoy, went to court this week and beat the feds. We got Lawyers for Workers calling in a little later to kind of explain to us some of that. And he was there in the atmosphere. Because we lose so much when one of us win, it's viewed like a canary in the coal mine, right? But we're going to talk to him about his feelings and, you know, what it was like and how rare it is to beat the feds and things of that nature. And so we'll move forward from that. I want to be clear to the people ahead of me, beside me, under me, working with me, working against me, influenced by me, disturbed by me, confused by me, interrupted by me, all of y'all, that anyone within the sound of my voice, I want to let you guys know that there is no one that's working harder than me. There is no circumstance that can keep me out of a situation where the goal that I've put in place is going to be interrupted. I want to be clear in my communication because the standards need to be clear. We ain't sneaking and doing nothing. You know, and if you say something, they make it harder, let them make it harder. That don't stop us from what we're doing, because what also we're doing simultaneously is we lighting the fires in other young niggas out there trying to figure out a way to get going. The industry is a dog hole. You can pour your money in the industry and not get no results. You got to know where to pour your money. You got to know where to go, how to look at it, what a risk assessment. You can't do proper risk assessment without any information. At that point, you're going by your gut. And when your money's involved, if you ain't got a lot of it, you better be careful going by your gut, because the results of that can leave you in a situation that you can't come back from in a way that's effective at that second. So you may got to fight back. As I look at media and I look at Coach and I look at some of the people that's talking and putting their opinions out and speaking on things that they haven't encountered, I find it interesting. I find it so interesting because for me, I honestly feel like there's too many star players on the bench. And there's too many bench players with starting roles. So somewhere the algorithm is off. But I think the algorithm is off because it's ancient. See, they want me to believe that they got where they at because of their talent or their know-how, but they was just the first ones. But I stand by what I say when I say leading the race ain't winning the race. Eyes open. Because right when you get tired, a nigga might catch stride. That little distance you had on him is closing and it's closing and it's closing. You done got tired. He just caught stride. I like to tell people in regards to this industry, in regards to this legally moving around, I'm a baby in this. I'm excited about every little thing. So for me, they got to deal with the fire that come with that. Young get $1 million check. Oh yeah, this what they doing for that? Oh, this how we, right? So that spark a different kind of fire. But it's way too many star players on the bench and too many bench players with starting roles. You got niggas that can't dribble handling the ball. You got niggas that can't pass at quarterback. And we talking about in regards to business in the game. You got niggas in position that they ain't watched the film tape to be in. They ain't even in a situation to see the play coming. And that's why you see the lack of assists. Because a lot of going for the point guard role because of the pay that's attached to it, and you can get the starting role, and it might accept you if you're a little shorter and you can bend it a little bit. A tall dude can play point, right? So it's a, and when I'm saying this, you got to keep up with the game I'm putting down, right? But people go try to be the point guard to attach themselves to the pay. They don't understand that the job got necessities. The job got standards. The job says that you a point guard, you supposed to facilitate plays. And so now you got a lot of point guards in position that don't know how to pass. They looking to score. And they've been granted the point guard position. That's why the industry and this entertainment is so fucked up. They look at it like giving a handoff is a handout. And then you got other that try to shoot down what you're doing and put you in the trick bag. Man, don't be doing that. That ain't cool to do, man. Fuck what you think cool to do. Whatever you doing, I don't think cool. That shit you just got on, I don't think all that ain't nothing to me. I don't like that shit. I'm on my own type of thing. You understand? But they won't trick me out of doing what they've allowed CNN to do. They won't trick me out of doing what they've allowed TMZ to do. They won't trick me out of doing what they've allowed Fox to do. But when I talk about it, they want to act as if I come from a place where that ain't necessary. I'm looking for the money and the information. I got to pass shit off to folks. I know God called me to be a point guard. You looking to score. Point guards get to score when it's necessary, and he's a scorer. But he must know that he got to make assists too in that position. Right? You got to get it to the center. Some of them that ain't as talented as you. Know what I'm saying? He don't got the ability to go in these rooms, in and out these rooms like you. He a center in regards to the infrastructure, entertainment. But you got to know how to get in a position, get some money with him, and get him the ball. So when he score, something go on your stat sheet as well. And make sure you're being it right. But I'm saying this game is so fucked up, man, because they got people in position that I don't really respect their opinion no more. And I say that respectfully. I don't think I'm better than anyone. I just think I'm obsessive. So I know more about these things than almost anyone. Right? That's all I do. It's going to be rough to get around, but I want the young to know that the revolution will be weaponized. Yeah, the revolution will be weaponized. They're going to put you in a position of where because they may know a little bit more than you. See, if you talk to me, I'm always telling my people I'm in Bluetooth mode. Don't ever look at me like I know nothing. I'm in discovery mode everywhere I'm at. I'm looking for the information. Ain't nothing else for me to do. I know the information, the money go with that. And with the money, I know what to do with it because I got the information with it. A lot of y'all searching for the money. One of my biggest messages be to the young is that the money go with the information. You don't hear people tell you that. I mean, you starting to hear people rebrand the way they do things, and you know, I'm grateful to be influential in the market, right? But the information go with the money. You ain't got to chase the money. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to the information go with the money. I won't let these niggas weaponize the revolution on me though. I don't care how these niggas feel about what I'm doing, how they think about my brand and my platform. I know what I'm doing. I'm playing a tech game. Y'all playing and my retention is high. My retention probably the highest in the game. The people that come to me, once I get them, once they bite the apple, it's done. They there. I know that to be something that's very valuable in the space, but I also see how they try to blur the lines in what's gossip and what's entertainment and what's this and that. And I want to be clear to the people that's speaking indirectly to Big Loon. I don't give a fuck how nobody think. Let me say that again. Maybe I need to bag up off the mic, son, to make sure it come through real clean. I don't give a fuck how niggas feel about what it is I do, what it is I bring to the game. Whoever it is that I've interrupted or the algorithm that I've added, if it's interrupted your plans or made you feel as though now you don't have the shot that you had, I want you to know that I don't give a fuck how you feel about my hustle. My hustle supposed to offend the niggas, is tricking the niggas. If you've been tricking the game and providing the people nothing, and I'm getting closer, you supposed to feel away. And I come from the streets. I know how to ignore the price is higher than mine. He can't compete. I'm dealing with a product he ain't got. I'm cheap around here for this shit. You running around here trying to tell them your quality better, and they seeing that I've got the same or better for cheaper. I don't argue with niggas that can't understand manufacturing in the way I do. They don't understand communication in the way I do. They don't understand history in the way I do. They don't understand how to articulate their ideas in the way I do. I don't give a f what them type think. The people I'm worried about is the people I can draw motivation from. Yo, let's start with this story, man. If you listen all the time, last week I told y'all that, you know, the city is now becoming a city where dudes is, and I'm from Nashville, so I was home for a week, and I was driving downtown area, and a dude threw something at my car, right? And it was just a man. I get out and we get into it real quick, but then I got to telling all my people like, yo, the city growing. They doing their LA shit. Cause in LA they get out like them dudes will grab your car. Them dudes that so. For me, you know, and I instantly said, man, don't go in the trick bag. I got too much going on. It's too much involved in me, too much investment in this for me to be in a situation to involve myself in even being on the other side of winning or losing. My loss mean more than his loss. And sometimes you got to weigh that up, right? If I lose, it's worth this. If he loses, it's worth that, right? If I get out, beat him up, that's cool, but that don't weigh nothing. He get out, beat me up, and they'll kill me or something. Now look at everybody that fall victim or feel the effects of that. You understand what I'm saying? So I sometimes you got to weigh those things up. And again, I always talk about risk assessment, but I want to be clear with everyone that I'm always imperfect. I ain't the that just got it all together. I understand something, but I ain't nowhere near the perfect dude. So for me, I pull over and get out the car, but I even tell my mama, man, that was a mistake. And my mama always on the side of, man, if they ain't hit you, just get out of there, kill them if they get close enough to seem like they gonna hurt you. But try to avoid it at all costs, right? That's always her vibe. And so she's saying like, yo, why you get out? That was dumb. And for me, I already called her with that energy, like, yo, man, I don't know what I would think. Get out the car. That dude could have made his mind up that morning. Like, whoever stopped right here, I'm gunning they bitch down. And unfortunately, I would have been the stop right there and then been gunned down because I was ready, but I wasn't ready if he would have just walked up and boom, because he said something. Right now, with that being said, there was an Olympian named Kim Glass. For those of you unaware, she was attacked, I think, in LA. By a bomb that just came up to her with that type of energy and hit her with something. Let's listen to what she said.
I'm doing this video because I have a lot of messages coming in and I don't want to have to repeat myself, and I appreciate all the love, and I'm sure it's just going to get out and around, so I might as well let you guys know what happened. Yesterday I was in downtown LA and I had a lunch. As I was leaving lunch, I was outside and I was saying goodbye to a friend, and this homeless man ran up. He had something in his hand he was on the other side of the car in the street, and he just like looked at me with some pretty hateful eyes. And as I turned to go tell my friend, I think something's like wrong with him and I think he's gonna hit the car. Before I knew it, a big metal bolt, like pipe, hit me right here. It happened so fast. He literally flung it from the street, so he was not even close to me at all. Kind of took me down and out, and they got him and they held him down. Cops came, ambulance came. You know, right now it looks like my vision will be okay, and I got really great stitching from a doctor. I have just amazing friends and family around me and supporting me, and that's been the best part. I do have multiple fractures up here and a small one here, but my friends have been family, amazing, and I just wanted to let you guys know what happened because I know it's going to get out, and I'm getting a lot of messages, and I love you guys so much, and just know that I'm okay, and I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. And shout out to these eyelashes that have been on ever since. I don't know who made these, but can I get a deal? Because you guys are awesome. Love you.
Man. Yo, bro. That's a different thing right there. Like, yo, if you're watching that video, man, you see her eye like, man, I couldn't imagine if that was my mother, my sister, my child, old lady, somebody that I love, man, and it's up. This is America. This what they doing for nothing. This is the level of drugs that's being put in the street, man. It's having people doing this here, and it ain't gonna stop. It's really out of control. There's no way to stop it. It's too big business. It ain't no way to stop it. You understand? If they stop that, I think they blow up a lot of people's undercover things that they have going on. There's no way to stop it. And those bigger cities like L.A., when we was out in L.A. riding around, like, see, because I'm from the South, so we got a different, and I'm sure the L.A. people, like the gang bangers and all that, they might got this type vibe, but I'm from the South where, you know, we'll get out and smack you about doing so. As I see a dude, I'm telling my people that's with me, he better not touch his car. So I ain't knowing, they outside all day. People doing construction, them folk picking up the boats that they making the bridge with. Them shits ain't gonna move. It's certain little boats that go on like train tracks and bridge boats and construction foundation boats that them homeless people have those. That's weapons, and they don't got to be close. They'll just throw it, like she said, and hit you in your face, swell all that up. Like, I couldn't imagine that being somebody I love, bro. But then you got to say, how could she fight against it? I'm not sure. I think she kind of explained what else happened. Let's see. Give me a second. Let's see if we can find the video. The video is via Inside Edition.
Sorry.
Exclusive. Olympian Kim Glass in tears as she tells Inside Edition new details about her horrific attack by a homeless man that left her face bruised and battered.
I have a stitch here or two, and then I have multiple fractures in my orbital bone here, and then a microfracture down here.
She breaks down thinking about how the attack could have been even worse.
I could have fell, hit my head, and there could have been some brain hemorrhaging.
New footage shows the blood-splattered sidewalk and an injured Kim right after the senseless assault. Passerbys are trying to stop the bleeding. Her alleged attacker is pinned to the ground. Kim had just had lunch in downtown LA when she says the homeless man clobbered her with a metal pipe for no reason.
He scurried up like this, and he like looked at me like this, and it was just like, it was like rage in his eyes.
Then, wham!
All of a sudden I just go bam, and I'm just like, and I'm like, oh snap, and I just fell straight down to the ground.
Kim won a silver medal playing volleyball at the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. She often posts motivational and workout videos on Instagram. This 6'3" Wonder Woman never imagined she'd be in the spotlight as a crime victim. Kim says she's grateful to the strangers who stopped to help. Good Samaritan Benson Parks pinned down the homeless man charged in the unprovoked assault. Inside Edition brought Kim and the total stranger together.
I heard her screaming. I jump out. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, I get instantly mad.
It's beautiful, honestly.
Yeah,
it's just beautiful because it's just like you didn't have to stop, and it just warms me up just to know that like there are people out there that don't turn a blind eye. Sorry.
Exclusive.
So much blood on the ground right there. That was, man, that's heavy. I don't know. I started the part like this. I might should have left this in the back. I don't know, but we'll crank it up after this. But that's heavy, man. It is good to see black men. Like I said, some people just like, oh, you playing, and just think, man, like she had no defense on that, and that's the same thing the white dude did to me. Threw something at the car. I pulls over. He run up and scream, "You want a flower girl with your Powerball?" Like he's gone on in the head, and I'm looking in his eyes like, man, I'll blow your shit off right here. And I'm looking in his face like, don't move, strange, bro. And then he grabbed the car. I get out the like, yo, bro, like, but all of that could have got me hit with a pipe or something, playing. And then I'd have been in jail. You see what I'm saying? And so now don't never, I hate that for her. And first of all, let me focus on that. I hate that for her, man. And that situation being at the hands of a black dude. And if you're watching the video, seeing what he looked like, old dude, and hit that woman like that, man. Wow. Let's move on. When I talk, I got to know that I'm feeding a lot of people. I'm starting to know my audience is getting bigger and people are learning from this stuff. And so when you feed a lot of people, you got to be aware of that. And so I got to do something to stretch it. You see, when America feeds 400 million people, maybe 3, 4, 5 times a day, they do something to circumvent the quality. And then to capture the whole market and the people that's quality conscious, they add something in the mix they call it organic. Right now you're dealing with the organic part of it. I still got to figure out how to get on those blog sites and in that world where the headlines capture what it is I bring. But what I won't allow them to do is capture my identity. Luckily for me, I'm prepared in a way that gives me a specific set of skills, so I'm able to navigate in a way maybe no one else can, right? You can do certain moves no one else can because you came up a certain way, or your viewpoint was a certain way on the push-up. And so as I'm feeding more people, I got to figure what's my trade-off. Is it time? Is it quality? What do I trade off to feed more people? I can do anything but add preservatives. I'm not going to add preservatives in the mix of this, right? This right here is organic. This is the real thing, so we're going to keep it that way. But what do I do to capture the people? How do I stretch this out in a way that's effective for me and my partner so we make millions of dollars within the next 12 months? What do we do? What's the effective approach? Not that shit niggas talk about, but I tell you what I know. My content and my conversations will lead the way. And so now we searching for eyeballs. Now we in a position of where we got to promote it and put it up in front of people and make people, because the conversion rate is high on what this is. You show it to somebody, they usually say, I want to follow that, or I want to be hit at, or right. And so we doing good as far as our demo is concerned. And I haven't stretched the jacket out, right? So I'm first adding to the hip hop algorithm. Then I will add at the same time, though, simultaneously with me adding to the hip hop algorithm, I'm adding to podcast algorithm by doing it by myself. Before me, there's people like Bill Burr that do it by itself. But you got to know, look at what he's worth and look how talented he is. We talking Bill Burr, comic. We talking get up there and rant for 2 hours like it's nothing. Right? But y'all don't respect the game in that way. But I'm adding that element to podcasting. Then on top of that, I'm adding to hip hop podcasting in that subcategory. But when I get done with that, I add to podcasting as a whole. I add to the whole game. But I got to be empowered to do so. I cannot do it without being empowered. Right? I can do a lot without being empowered because I'm empowered by myself. But my partners put me in the right position and we'll blow this thing up to 8-9 figures. But the hardest part is staying organic because you got to trade something for the audience. And y'all pick this game up. I'm putting down those that's out there working on things, right? I know a lot of y'all cherry pick the game. Y'all don't support me. Y'all just come here because I talk good and I'm helping you figure out whatever that little shit is you're doing, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself, right? You call yourself got money, you ain't supporting nothing. But let's move on, because either way, I'll make 7-8 figures out of it. I'm telling you that. But anyway, I can't trade something for nothing. There's no feeling like 4,000 shares on something and all of them like, yo, you the truth, bro. This is real. I never thought about it like that. Like, it's a lot of women that come on there and be like, man, you just explained that. I didn't know what that mean when people said that. And that be what I'm, understanding my place is a little bit, is to kind of break down what we're looking at. And if you pay attention, I'm changing how people are podcasting. I'm changing it back. See, they moved away. We ain't talking about all that, but they seeing me and everybody fucking with what I'm talking about. Now they got to come back and talk about this kind of shit. I'm bringing it back to what now. Bring it back. Y'all was trying to run off and no, bring it back, or I'm going to take everybody audience. Bring that shit back. It's some people that's planted in this. But some of the big boys started to not give a fuck about a fight breaking out because they didn't know how to approach it. I'm showing them how to approach it. Believe what I'm telling you. My mind is in the right position. I see them taking what I'm doing. I see them taking my approach. I want to speak on this Funk Flex and Conway the Machine. And I want to say thank you to Conway for furthering the conversation that I've been having on this Up There podcast in regards to, if you listen to me, you know I've spoke on this. Let me introduce the topic and we'll get to this. Conway the Machine and Funk Flex have now got into it. Conway says that, yo, Funk Flex, y'all dudes is old, y'all washed up, y'all really ain't paying attention. And again, this is something that I reiterate on this Up There podcast. If you're a listener of me, you heard a couple of weeks ago me speak about, yo, don't get out that barber chair. They will not, man. Somebody else want a haircut. Like, I went down that road with it, just kind of explaining, and a couple of those clips have went viral, and so that's why you see people further in that conversation, right? I specifically spoke on people like Flex and some of them people that are legends, but they don't understand that innovation comes from the middle or the bottom. That's just how this work, right? And so when you've been at the top so long, no matter if your heart is still in it, your skills done diminished. Yeah, no matter if your heart's still in it, your skills done diminish. You know how many NBA players that still got the heart to ball, but their jumper won't fall the same. Them legs hurt when they get up after playing 4 games in a row. They can't get out there and do it no more. And the same way, in regards to music, it ain't physical, but your algorithm is off. What you think is hot and what you think is not, that sound you looking for you to co-sign it is no longer in that position. So now a lot of them old dudes are just lean towards the numbers because they don't got no vision. They don't really understand what they looking at. And so I've always talked about it, right? I've always spoke on it. And Conway the Machine came out and said this. Let's take a look.
New York, my opinion, man, y'all got to get them old niggas about the way like Flex and them, man. You know what I mean? Them gatekeepers that y'all got up there, man, that's trying to dictate, like, who, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Good thing I don't need y'all, because if I needed y'all be fake stifling my growth. Y'all don't play my shit. Sus One you got on Wendy Williams show, nigga, on primetime TV, nigga, and, like, say it what you said. Flex, every chance you get, you said that. You got to stand on that, which you didn't, like, on us. Like, I want to make that clear. Goose, you know what I'm saying? So what I told you when I sang, like, oh, shit, he ain't saying nothing wrong. Shit. That ain't his motion. He don't listen to that shit. But it's like, what do you listen to then, bro? It's clear what you listen to. You want to write a nigga who lit and popular in the club and, you know, all that shit. That's what niggas do. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. We got to get rid of y'all niggas. Let some new, young, really tapped in with the streets, be the DJs and run that shit up there at Hot 97 and all that shit. And I love Hot 9. You know what I'm saying? All them niggas with their bro, everybody. Like, I fuck with all that. Hot 97 love me. But, like, Flex and like, don't understand, like, the shit they be saying. Like, people really take that run with it sometimes, bro. Like, you get on there and talk about me for it, man. Really in the clubs, really tapped in, really know the new. Y'all not even looking for new ill niggas. Y'all not even looking for new ill niggas. Y'all don't even know who new and hot right now, up and coming. Yo, nah, check that nigga making noise in Brooklyn.
Hey, that a mean laugh. But he ain't lie. If you're looking at the screen, this is Funk Flex responding to what we just played with Conway. He tags him at Who Is Conway. Ha. So let's begin. You managed by Rock Nation, Jay-Z, signed to Shady Records, Eminem, distributed by Interscope, major label. You and your team have had a feature from Jay-Z, Eminem, Lil Wayne, J. Cole, Jadakiss, Travis Scott, French Montana, and more. Wasn't you on Kanye Donda album? And along this, he's putting smiley emojis, laughing out loud emojis, right? So he's letting you know, like, this is his way of responding back. I'm going to give you the advice that Paul Rosenberg should have gave you. You're a 40-plus bars rapper, sorry, lyricist, that has had every resource possible. If you are not happy with your career as of today, with all them cosigns, I think you have peaked, my guy. What do you think? You're only going to take this as disrespect because truth might be a bit much for you. Signed, Grandpa, Wheelchair Bandit, Warm Milk General. I might need a podcast. What y'all think? First, let me put in the context why Flex is a gatekeeper. A lot of people are coming out. See, because media guys want to trick the audience into thinking that it should be no movement. There should be no update. Because if they're in the lead, why would they want you to say, yo, we want to see somebody else talk to Jay-Z now. We want to see somebody else to talk to Kanye now. We want to see somebody else sit next to Diddy, QC. We want to see somebody else sit next to them dudes. Why would they want to say that when they get paid for sitting next to those people? So they're never going to embrace change when they're in the lead. So you hear a lot of people say, why they worried about Flex, man? He's not someone that should be. He's not a gatekeeper. They want to confuse you about what a gatekeeper is. They want you to think that it's about record sales. They want you to think that it's about anything outside the audience. I keep telling you, it's about access to audience. Funk Flex has a access to a hip hop audience that digests hip hop. These people want to hear bars. They want to hear exactly what I got to offer, right? And we ain't talking about what you feeling. I'm looking past you, your audience, right? So a lot of people are trying to blur the lines like, yo, he's not a gatekeeper. You don't need him to do anything, and you don't need him to do anything. But the idea that you say he's not a gatekeeper to access to a certain type of audience would be a lie. I want to speak on people saying as well that, yo, you can't play what you want, man. Flex is on the radio. He can't play. That's a lie. That's a lie. But let's entertain it. Let's entertain it that you can't play what you want. And then you run down this whole list of signed by Eminem, managed by Jay-Z, co-signed by this, verse for Nick. All of those accolades, you use those to pitch to the radio. Yo, this is why we should be playing a New York artist. This dude is from New York with these accolades. So what you used as bad could have been used for good in the program director's ear, which I don't think is an issue. Now, what I do think you can find trouble is the BPM or the style of song and things like that. Maybe that's something to speak about, but the idea that Flex doesn't control access to an audience is absurd. And I won't let people continue to confuse the audience like that. You want to go on Flex. That's where Jay went. That's where Benny Siegel went, nigga. Went and killed Flex. That's why I want to get up there. It's the same thing with the Grammy. It ain't because they calling. It's because, yo, Michael Jackson had one of these. Kanye, Jay, all these people done accepted theirs, and then they might tell you, nah, it ain't nothing no more. I know you saying that, but you got one, so I want one. That's what inspired me. You understand? And so after this, Flex went on to respond to Conway on Hot 97. Let's play a little bit of that.
I should know that. HR, that's Zelda, and I think Conway have an issue. No? Is that his name? Oh, Conway's English. I should know that. That's the same. I should know that. HR, that's all I should know that. You're right. I should know. You know, listen, I should know that Conway's in Griselda. Right. And who else is in Griselda?
Benny the Butcher.
Benny the Butcher, shout to him. And
Westside Gun.
Westside Gun, shout to him. Hey guys, you're on Hot 97. So I guess they're upset. They feel I don't support them, and I am old. And you're right. Listen. These guys, what are they, like multi-platinum, I think? Are they multi-platinum worldwide touring type artists? I mean, I get it. These millionaires. These guys are millionaires. No, I'm just saying, like, listen.
They want to be.
I thought they are. I think they're big artists. They sell a lot of records. I'm so confused on why they care about a DJ like me who's, I mean, I'm old. I'm out of touch. I'm being honest. I feel the same way about myself. I'm not aware or know what's going on in the street, so I can't help them. Guys, I cannot help you. So I don't even know why. Shout to DJ Sus One. I can't figure out if they're saying that Sus One said something slick.
I think he said he didn't know who they were on Wendy's show.
I thought that he. I couldn't really understand what they meant.
That was a while back.
That was a while back. Okay, I mean, look, Griselda, Michael Jackson, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Griselda, Michael Jackson, Griselda, you know, Drake, Griselda, Drake. It's the same thing. Listen, at me at Funk Flex if I don't understand this Griselda thing. And I don't know where they get the. I don't think they're garbage. I know somebody said that I think that they're whack. Oh, they came with the freestyle and they feel they didn't get enough energy out of me. Yeah. Grown men. Grown men. Man, Flex didn't give me enough energy, man. Pause. I'm sorry. And let's
And again, for my down south audience, going on Flex is a legendary thing, right? Or for my worldwide audience, people who are outside of New York or may not understand what the legends went there. A lot of people A lot of people got their confidence boosted and birthed off of what they've done on Flex and some of those other New York radio stations. So they're a staple. They're like a legacy act. They're like something on the bucket list you want to do. And so when you hear them say that he didn't give them no energy, I went and looked at the freestyle because I saw that on the internet. In that freestyle, he was just looking kind of crazy. He wasn't giving them no type of love. He was looking like, and they was rapping their heart out and they was killing it. And then some other things, you know, you might see Flex react in a way that's like, oh, hit the table and do all of that. So people are like, yo, man, what was that? And that kind of went viral, right? Him sitting there like that. He's had a couple of times where his reaction to rap bars have went viral, like with the one with Designer was real bad. Like he was looking like, what is you doing? But you may hear people say, yo, don't point out Flex. And while I agree with that, because I always say that it's media as a whole that acts a certain way. There's a certain algorithm for media that I would find unfavorable to elevation, right? You may not get closer to your dreams and your goals paying attention to that algorithm that they've set forth for most black people, right? But we trying to interrupt that a little bit. But while that's the case, I don't agree with saying that you can't use Flex. Some people come out and say, yo, don't use Flex, man. Just say that as a blanket statement. And the big people, the powerful people, or the people that's in this space, they want you to use blanket statements because they can hide behind those. Yeah, you know what to do with a blanket, don't you? Get under a blanket. You can't get up under a direct statement, but a blanket statement, you can kind of hide behind that. And so they always want you to don't point nobody out. Don't say who stealing the money. Then just say they stealing money. Now don't tell them who, don't tell them who taking all the entertainment people money. Just say that it's being took. Don't tell them that just say that it's happening. Right? So they want you to live in that way. And then on top of that, that's what humans do. We use examples. If you eat frog legs and they say what it tastes like, they're going to say chicken. They're going to try to put you in a mind frame of something that you might know that's close to this. You understand me? So they're saying, yo, Flex, people like that, y'all tripping. Right? That's what we do. We use examples. That's what human beings do. But again, let me be clear on what this is. This ain't a personal move. This is an access to audience move. This is, yo, bro, you got that audience over there that's solidified and I'm really killing it with the bar thing. Right? If Flex is right there and that's a moment. That's a moment in hip hop. Right? That moment. We trying to create that moment. You understand? And you hear people like Joe, Joe Budden say that everybody needs to stay in their lane. I don't see how people say that. I'm paying attention to the game. You can't say everybody need to stay in their lane when, if that's the case, you'll still be somewhat torn for 2,500 screaming, pump it up. Everybody don't need to stay in their lane. We don't need to marginalize black people in that way. If that's the case, you wouldn't have never been in the life that you in now doing well with your podcast, but you were able to spin from rap and go that way. People gonna have to spin from things and go another way and be allowed that grace to do so. So I find it strange when people say, yo, just stay in your lane. Everybody got to stay in their lane. Now we don't got to stay in our lane. It don't help nobody else. It don't hurt nobody else if I crash my whip. This is my whip. Know what I'm saying? So if I want to get over here and see how good I am in tech, get over here and see how good I am in comedy or whatever it might be, I can do that. And I don't need nobody telling me what I can't do. But the game is to be put down and picked up. Make sure you're doing one of them. But again, it's about the old-fashioned handoff. See, people, they want to tell you, hey, what you want me to do, man? Well, it's just access to audiences. This audience is customers. We know, like, who they think they tricking? Simpleton? Who they think these dudes is simpletons, man? Who they think they tricking? When you got access to the audience, you got access to the eyeballs. They pay with their eyeballs. I got their trademark. So I can't respect when somebody like Flex say, I can't do nothing for you. That ain't true, and he knows that ain't true. He just playing into the narrative of people saying you old and this and that. You might can't catapult nobody, but you can capsule a motherfucker in that and create that moment. I'm frustrated with people saying he's not a gatekeeper because, yeah, it's other ways in the game. Nobody's saying it ain't other ways in the game. That's not the thing. Or can you get in the club? That ain't the thing. Yeah, you can get in the club. But the game done changed now. It's about the audience. It's about the crowd. What club can you get in? Oh, that Funk Master Flex Club, that Hot 97 Club, that Breakfast Club, them big boy clubs if they let you in them. See, be careful. Pay attention to people's words. You can get in the club, man. There's all kind of ways in the game. But yeah, but where they placing me at in the game? Man, you can easily get a deal. You can easily get a deal. Yeah, a deal from who though? And what's the terms and conditions? You understand? But they don't, they just be talking. And I agree a little bit with people saying that everything has a place, because it does. Radio has a place. Media has a place. DJs have a place. Mix shows have a place. Product placement and all these things, marketing, all this stuff has a place, right, in the game. But one thing I know about radio, that if it wasn't making no money, it'd have been done dissolved. So I know everybody say radio ain't got nothing no more. You ain't got to worry about radio, man. Forget radio, radio this, radio that. But if radio wasn't making no money, it'd have been out of here by now. You wouldn't still be able to go on your thing and hear people talking all day and they still paying people in the rate that they paying people. So it's sustaining something. It's doing something, and whatever it's doing, we need to hurry up and see what it is before they shut it down and we miss all that game that's being put down. Because however they running the radio is how everybody that has a podcast network need to be paying close attention. Because I've already been paying close attention, but I'm giving y'all that high-level game. Yo, so on this Up There podcast, y'all know I like to talk about the business. I like to get in communication with the people that understand things, right? We handpick the people we involve ourselves with, man, and today we got the infamous Lawyers for Workers on the phone. If you don't know Mo is someone that when these cases happen, he kind of gets on straight on the ball and speaks about it from a lawyer perspective, always gives a very unique approach. And we're going to tap in with him a little bit and see his thinking about being at the NBA Youngboy trial, what he feels about Gunna, what he feels about Thug lyrics and cases, how Youngboy beat the trial, where he stands now, and just a bunch of other things. So we're going to have a quick talk with him on this episode, and then we'll be right back. Let's get him on the line.
I'm good, bro. Thanks for having me on.
No problem at all, man. We always tap in with you. I know the culture knows your voice, and if they don't, they'll get used to it. I know you were at the NBA Youngboy trial. Can you just kind of give me a little bit about the atmosphere at the trial?
It was like every trial, man. It was tense because a man's freedom is on the line. You know, he was facing felon in possession cases in federal court have a maximum of 10 years. Now, every individual defendant is going to get a different federal sentencing guidelines score. And depending on what your score is how many years out of that 10 you actually face. So for any defendant, the max is 10. But based on your factors, your prior arrests, your prior convictions, you're going to get a score, and then you're facing some. So Youngboy, he was facing like 5 years because he's got prior violent crime, felony convictions. So if he caught a guilty in that case yesterday, there was a chance they'd remand him. They'd take him off house arrest. They would have put the cuffs on him right after the verdict was read. They would have walked him into the back and they would have locked him up. And then he's looking at sentencing where there's a very realistic shot at him getting 5 years. So, Loon, it was tense.
Man, and I know, like I said, in these cases, we tend to not get a fair shot. With the feds, it's a little more cleaner approach and cleaner process than the state. I think they're a little uncomfortable with the loss. But I've heard you say that it was the jury did have what appeared to be his peers. It helped me understand how you came to that conclusion.
So this was Los Angeles County, and the citizens of Los Angeles County are a pretty diverse set. There was a big range of races, occupations, ages. I was a little disappointed at the fact that, to my eye, I didn't see a lot of African Americans in the potential jurors. But overall, you know, I thought the jury was a jury of his peers. Look, with the state and federal, both systems are hard, Loon.
Right. With
state, you know, there's a little bit more opportunity to plea bargain. There's a little more flexibility with the sentencing. The sentences aren't as high. The football numbers aren't there.
Right.
But you run into some stuff where the judges maybe aren't as good as the federal judges, and sometimes you don't really get fair rulings. You know, rap lyrics might get used against you, I think, a lot easier in state court than in federal court.
Exactly.
A state court could deny your bond a lot easier than a federal court. So in that sense, you know, that's one difference. But then the federal court, I mean, you don't want to be there either because the sentencing is so high.
Exactly.
I mean, you're talking
the
about
stakes
just
are
being
high.
in possession of it's too high, man.
Right.
So yeah, you get a real smart judge who's going to really look at the law and be very strict with what evidence they can use against you. But the stakes, they really up it on the sentencing. So it's both of them are just not a place you want to be.
Right. And for the audience who may be living under a rock or catch this at a different time, they may run this on TV at some point in time. Can you kind of explain to the audience the evidence that they had on this particular case with NBA YoungBoy? So that was a little bit of the Lawyers for Worker interview. That exclusive episode is available on Pateron. We talked about Gunna, Thug, NBA YoungBoy, the whole nine. And I'm going to talk about Gunna, Thug, NBA YoungBoy a little later. Right now, I want to just talk about Southside went on $1 million worth of game. And everybody that watches me, you know my position is to try to maintain a certain level of continuity in regards to our understanding of position and power. Those two things run hand in hand, right? Usually the position you in come with some level of power, right? No matter if it's a little level of power. I spoke about a few weeks ago. I try to be cognizant of the people that was around me when I beat the odds, when the universe opened up for me, right? I think there's something to be said about the people that's in your circle when things start to go right for you, right? The energy that's provided to you and things of that nature. And so I look at things like that. And like I say, I know the chef got family. I know the waiter got family. The dish man got family. The beat man got family. The cameraman got family. The sound guy, all these people got family. You know, and that's something some of these billionaire characters or some of these guys that got a lot of money, these dudes are weird characters, man. Like, they want to be seen and heard. They want to be loudest. They want to be, look at my girl and this and that, right? I'm hustling, so I'm putting game down. And so sometimes I'm watching everything. My brain says to me, though, Loon, we in a good position as long as you can control you. Everything in the world, and I ain't no different than nobody else, it's in my hands right now. The position, everything, it's in my hands. I can ruin it, or I can make sure that this thing turns into what I told y'all it was going to turn into, and of course I'll do that. But oftentimes we look over the opportunities that we're faced with. Like right now, think about the audience you got. Think about the money you make. Think about the time you spending doing things that can make your tomorrow better than your yesterday. Are you really depositing enough into those things where in a year you can withdraw from it and not affect it in a way where it crumbles? Are you depositing in anything in your life? When I look at podcasting, when I look at what I'm doing, the consistency, the level of it, what I put into it, it's become a lifestyle for me. I used to didn't understand when certain podcast dudes would be like, yo, my life is like a podcast. And on my Patreon, I'm going to start taking y'all behind the scenes, even as I, like how I'm maybe look at an interview and I stop it and be like, what the fuck was that? Why did they say that? And what does that mean? Like, my fans going to start to be able to be in that think tank with me. And where I'm really just looking at shit raw, right? Before we, even come to the pod. Because sometimes we got to find where in the interview we want to speak about, right? Like, we about to listen to the 808 Mafia with $1 million worth of game. So what I'll do is, and this is for my Patreon people, man, y'all, I'm finna take care of y'all. Finna sit something to the side for y'all. In this game, man, like, you got to keep your eyes open. Keep your hustle strong, man. Nobody going to believe what you saying. They ain't going to think it can happen. I'm telling you for sure, man. I luckily had some money coming out the street. Didn't nobody believe what I was doing. But I was telling my people the other day, like, part of it was because I always played dumb in the street. You know what I'm saying? And that's the greatest story ever told. When I ever really get to sit down and divulge how really I tricked the streets. It's gonna be a hell of a thing. So let's get to this interview. 808 Mafia went on $1 million worth of games, spoke with Wallow and Gilly. Gilly got in a certain kind of bag that day. I'm not sure if it's because 808 is down there in Miami and he knew the Miami people to watch it, or he just felt like that day I'm coming with what I'm coming with, right? Because evidently him and Ross had something. We'll get to that after this part. But this particular interview, for people who don't know, 808 Mafia is instrumental in making a lot of Young Thug beats. He part of around that crew like Metro Boomin and all those people with the Young Thug and the Futures of the world and the Gunners of the world. That whole scene right there, they got rich together. So all them people was in the huddle together. Beautiful thing, hustling good down there. So he was able to get some money in that. But in this particular episode with them, he spoke about I'm rich phase. And see, a lot of people don't know getting money ain't the thing. Getting money, you can get rich out here. Can you stay rich out here? Yo, I'm going to tell you, it's a lot going on. Every day I got something. My accountant called me. IRS sent something. This over here, over there. Taxes over here. Hey, you ain't paid the property taxes over there. You need to go handle this. This car right here just done something. I need to fix that one. This, want a Tesla, and this and it, and then I'm still podcast. Then I'm booking flights. Then I got to go here. I got to go there. Interviews. But I know it's going to come out in the rents. I know it's going to come out in the rents. Ain't no better feeling than knowing you cooking a good meal. See, the problem is you don't look at your shit like that because you know damn well you don't know how to cook. And I know I'm in the kitchen with this podcast thing. I'm in the kitchen with this game of life, right? And I know how to whip up a hell of a meal. I was doing it in the project. So I know with these kind of attributes and access, I'm going to whip a hell of a meal up. And so I move with that confidence. You looking at a hustle where everybody beside him was hustling cheaper than him with plugs and certain things. My dogs went to the feds. So I had to figure out how to, man, I'm telling you, they can't with this shit, man. They gonna have to figure out how to team up to this shit, man. But let's listen to a little bit of this interview and then we'll speak about it.
The same way you saying, like you learn from experience, I learned that from experience. Like,
yeah,
I didn't got rich, then spent all that shit, got rich again, spent all that
the tax man was on your ass.
That was the last time. Now I'm over rich. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm almost wealthy now.
I like this. I like how he threw his shit out there.
Nigga, I'm getting money, nigga. Get it
like, I fucked it up. But I done fucked up though, and that's how I learned. Like, why I'm saying I fucked up, because I had a lot of people around me. And when I fucked up, none of them people ain't here. These the same people that was around me when I was broke. You know what I'm saying? So I learned my lesson from that shit. Like, I done lost everything and nobody went nothing. Like, even my girl left me, like, everything just went wrong. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nigga bounce back. Wild brazy, like some brazy shit. You know what I'm saying?
And once you...
But you know what, OG? Everybody go through that I'm rich stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the same time, I went through that I'm rich stage. But trust me, it's always a situation that's going to humble a that I'm rich stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a very humbling year. But I look at that year now like, damn, like, I'm really who I am. Like, I look at that shit like I was supposed to go through that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So you hear him speak about that. A lot of times you hear people have those struggles with money. I remember talking to Antoine Walker a few months back and just listening to his story about 110 million, 130 million and getting into that recession with the housing crisis and how it kind of placed him in a bad circumstance. But money is a tool. Money is a very unique thing, right? Because the access that it grants you. But the unique thing about money is that no matter how much you got of it, they can find a way to help you spend it, right? The tax thing, there's loopholes, right? So people are getting way better with the tax thing, paying literally almost $0 by spending that money and funneling it, doing different things and writing it off in the loopholes that's available. But say you got, especially the little rap money, but let's stretch it out. Say you got like Elon Musk. Say you got a couple 100 billion. Oh, they got, buy Twitter, that's 50 billion. Buy 30% of Apple, that might be such and such billion. Some of you, like, you can spend all of that now. if you spend it in that way, you continue to do business and make money. Here's the trick. You can be $1 billion consumer. You can be a millionaire consumer. You can be a with a lot of money, but you ain't got a lot of hustle. You can be a that can score but won't score. You understand? You could be a that can shoot but won't get the ball because you ain't got no hustle, no ability to get open, right? So you may got some money, but boy, you ain't got the mindset. So when the mindset don't go with the money, you just a rich consumer. You just run around buying shit at a high price, right? Used to be white t-shirts. Now it's just Gucci shirts every day. You just gonna do that. You never gonna use the money as the tool that it's intended to be used as. It's almost like if you get a certain amount of money, it should come with some understanding of how to keep you at that level. But if you look at people that win the lottery, that's some of the people that they don't know how to sustain. So they get that money and they come right back down because they just a consumer with a lot of money. So instead of buying one beer a day, they'll buy beer for the whole block today and every day. And right, they're just up the ante with whatever they're doing. It's almost like we intend on what other people are going to look at us like, right? So we get the money and we know we pull up in that Maybach. Everybody out there going to say somebody's in the Maybach, and something about that feeling is what is being chased by people, you know? And with rappers continuing to up the ante, right? Oh, he went and got the Maybach, so I went and got a Maybach with the such and such insides. Then I put the forges on it. And then I want to bring my Maybach and my Rolls Royce and my Lamborghini out to the club. All three of them big boys, sit them out in the front, right? So he got his 3 out there. Now homie said, he had his 3 out there last week. Next week we coming with our 5. They know how we coming, right? So it's something about the feeling from other people. It ain't even necessarily your own thing, because you know you got these cars. You know you got enough money to buy the big necklace or the big this or the big that. And even me as a podcaster, it's a very selfish behavior, right? And I know people get a lot from me, man, and I always want to keep in perspective that I'm in Bluetooth mode. I ain't no better than nobody. Nobody. Loon still go off. Loon ain't got it all. Loon still is a ball of mistakes, right? But Loon paying attention. The difference is I'm obsessed with elevation. I'm paying attention to the details of this thing called life, and I'm trying to convince myself and motivate myself into doing the things that I know to be what need to be done. Because a lot of times we can know what need to be done and not be doing it, right? I'm smart enough to know what need to be done. Now, there's some things I'm locked in on, laser focus. Can't nothing move the dial. But there's other things that I'm saying, yo, I can tighten that up. And I'll tighten that up in a minute. You know, but I want to get closer to those things as well, and continue to learn. But money is a tool, and it should be respected and used as such. I think a lot of people don't understand that. Let's listen to a little more. All right, so that was a little bit of the Southside part. Now this is where things get interesting. For those of you unaware, Gilly the Kid and Rick Ross have been going at it. On this episode that I cited earlier with 808. He mentioned some things about Rick Ross. We're going to get into that portion of that video, and then we'll respond to that.
Your old down, and I'm gonna keep your old nigga some game too. When y'all stop hearing the roar of the crowd, stop becoming nutty on social media because you don't hear the roar of the crowd no more, man.
Don't get mad because
like dog, you had your turn.
Yeah.
That shit over with. You old now. Invest in real estate or something. Do something
else.
Help
do something.
Leave these young niggas alone. Let these young niggas shine
That's
out here.
right. That's why we
man.
who we is, because we embrace the young niggas.
For sure.
While all the rest of these old niggas running around trying to hate on the young niggas, why would we make our show not about the niggas on tomorrow?
But that's why I look at Jay the way I look at Jay. Like,
these old niggas still be out here 46 years old showing watches. Be in a video. Do like that. Did you just show a watch? You 46 years old. You've been telling us you had money for 25 years. We know you got money, goofy ass old head. Sit your goofy ass old ass down, man.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah. Don't ever comment on no shit got to do with me, though, because you know when you see me, I'm the same nigga. Fuck wrong with you, nigga. Shit get rough.
Nah, shit. Real.
Yeah. Don't let me see you buy no cows.
Nah, man, you know, I ain't gonna lie, one of my
It's different.
Yeah.
But
for me to buy cows on Old National, like, hell nah, but I ain't,
Tell you that
I don't
roll
even
the
like
crowd.
milk. I'm cool.
Whenever roll the crowd going, bro, be the same, man.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Always, big bro.
That roll the crowd is vicious, man.
Always, big
You
bro.
know what I mean?
So I don't know why I didn't think about it. Wallow works with YouTube, so they went in there and took that off. But of course, it's online. Here it is.
These old, they don't hear the roar of the crowd no more, and they still think the roar gonna come back. So they be on Instagram and they be on social media doing dumb shit. I just bought a cow and all this dumb. Would you buy a cow?
Hey, what? He thought I just bought a cow.
Yeah, you know I was gonna bake you. I seen you in them comments. And I was gonna bake your goofy ass. Yeah, wrong. But you don't ever comment on nothing about me when you used to be a CEO. When you used to lock like Wallow in the cell.
So,
this ain't got nothing to do with you, player. But you know I was gonna bake you dumb. I just bought a cow. Why would you buy a cow, man? You goofy ass. Yeah, but
I ain't gonna lie
anyway,
though, I'm gonna keep it real, you know.
these old, they mad at me because I tell them, fuck them, all you niggas pussy ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't said it, I said it. He ain't said it, I said it.
Okay.
Niggas pussy, man.
Yeah, big homie Gilly. Stop playing with that, man. That splut.
All right, so that was the video of Gilly that was erased offline. Now, the circumstances are, a couple of months ago, Gilly the Kid was on a podcast. I'm sorry, young lady, I forgot your name. I'll make sure to put it in the description or something because I know how important that is to get credit for those interviews, so I apologize for that. But he went on a podcast and he spoke about running into Lil Wayne somewhere. And he said he ran into Lil Wayne, the energy was weird, and Wayne got out of there. So the internet took that. Oh man, he ran Wayne off. Wayne, he might have said he might have said something like that he ran him off, or he just ran off or something. He said something like that. So the internet took that, and then Mac Main ended up having the video. So Mac Main put a video out and was like, well, "You came and saw Wayne. He was in a room. He didn't run nowhere, whatever." And Rick Ross must have commented under there and said something about he phony or he a fraud or something like that. And so Gilly took note of that, and then now he's addressing it now. I want to just address the thing about the cow. Down here in the South, and I think everywhere, just some places don't have the land to be able to do so. There is very lucrative tax loopholes that if you may get like some bees or ants or you know, cow, or you doing some kind of agriculture there to where you save a whole lot of money on your taxes. So it's a tax loophole to be able to do something like that. That's when you make money to try not to give it to them. So you try to save it in a way, right? So you structure those things in a way where it's profitable for you. And I think that's the play. Before I put that video up, let me just point something out. When people respect or think they may need you, look how they frame it, right? When that was Gilly and Ross, Gilly said Ross' name, specifically speaking to Ross, and you seen blogs say it was a sneak diss. The truth, the truth is the truth. That wasn't a sneak diss. You ain't did nothing wrong by saying he come at Rick Ross. But what you would do is you would take something that you can't even verify about some of these other people and push those narratives. So when I see the media react in that way, right, meaning with Gilly, when they take that and say that it's a sneak diss or maybe he sneak dissing, right? Like a sneak diss meaning you can duck a sneak diss because you can be like, it's not directed, I don't respect it, right? So Gilly get up under action. Like, nah, that ain't a sneak diss. I said his name. Know what I'm saying? Because he letting it be. I'm addressing that dude about him, what he done. But then Ross came out and put this.
Just had a beautiful idea, a boss idea. I'm going to start a podcast. Yeah, I'm going to start a podcast. Dead serious. And guess what? I want you to help me name my podcast. And if I decide to use your name, guess what? I'm going to bless you with the whole Trinity. I'm going to make sure you get a Bel Air bottle. Make sure you get a Vion bottle. Make sure you get a Bamboo bottle. And of course, a McQueen and a Violet Fog bottle. Big business opportunity for you. Rick Ross, huge announcement, starting a podcast.
Yo, he the king of brand integration. Both of these dudes have a very unique way of communicating. They high-level communicators, different styles, though. And styles make fights, right? So, and when I'm talking fights, I mean just, you see how they taking shots at each other, how they both, that's their style. Gilly got a more hyper-aggressive style, you know, animated style. Rick Ross got more the laid-back, sneaking punching you with little information and little game in there, you know what I'm saying? So you watch them two dudes do that, man, and go at it. You know, I don't think it'll turn into violence. It should never turn into violence. You know, them two older dudes in the game, they'll look stupid doing something like that. So I don't think it'll do that. What I think it'll be is Ross may start a podcast and be like, yo, I'm over here being tedious and fucking with y'all now. I'm interviewing the same people and shit. I'm doing that. That might be what he finna try to do. You know, but it didn't stop there, because I think Ross would retweet certain things where they would say $1 trillion worth of game, and you know, it was one that was dope. I said, man, I got to give dude kudos on that when he said named it Kyle, Casualties of War. I said that was dope. I gave him props under that. I said that was dope, because the Kyle thing that you know, that was dope. Even though, you know, that ain't a long-term name, I don't think. But in the moment of what was going on, I acknowledged that creativity in that moment, right? But that, again, that's not where it stopped. Gilly then responded to some of the reposts or some of the things. At least that's what I think he's responded to. And this is what he said. If you're looking at the screen, it's a post from Gilly the Kid. I got the name for your podcast, Rich Forever, a.k.a. The Mickey Mouse Show. Your history ain't right to with me. You better leave that alone. So he got the picture of Rick Ross as a CEO with Lock It Up podcast with Rick Ross.
Let me give you the real game. When I spend more money on my cow huffs than you do on your wife and kids every month, you should take notes. But more importantly, meet my bear. This is my bear.
So Ross mentioned that, right? Say that, hey man, I spend more money on my cow huffs than you spend on your kids. And so you know Gilly was gonna come back. And after we hear what Gilly said, we'll speak on it and then we'll move on.
Listen, man, I'm only gonna tell you this one time, Ross. You better stop playing with me, man. You hear me? And mind your business, man. Because you went on a nigga Instagram page commenting about me, calling me out my name for no motherfucking reason at all. This how they get started. So I'm gonna tell you again, man, leave me the alone, man. I see your little funky video. I spend more money on my cow's hooves than you spend on your wife. You're probably right, because I ain't bought her, I caught her. She with me because who I'm blessed to be, not because I bless her with a fee. But ain't you the that said, I put Molly all in her drink and she ain't even know it. Goddamn Ricky Ray bitch. Huh? Stop talking about money, man, because money don't unlame a lame. There's a lot of suck-ass niggas out here with money and you on the list. Matter of fact, you the captain of the Suckers with Money Association of America, and we ain't impressed. So mind your business, because that's your problem. You're always minding niggas' business. You was minding Birdman business some years back when you was running around talking about, give Khaled the money you owe him. Well, you give Meek the money you owe him, because you got him in a 1914 slave deal, a Harriet Tubman joint that he signed when he was 19, and now he's 35. I thought you said a boss is one that guarantee we gon' eat. Well, why you ain't renegotiating with a real nigga? Thank God he with them white boys. He around be broke, busted, and disgusted with you. He's a hell of a businessman, though. Salute to you, Meek. But stop talking about money, man. And stop pushing that Bel Air on niggas, because they don't drink that shit no more. I got the ice electric blue bottle, and I got the lime green bottle that float in the air like Aladdin's carpet. We don't give a f. We don't want it, man. Don't drink that shit, man. And slow up on them goddamn lemon peppers, because you're about a 6-piece away from a heart attack. Your crib is immaculate. I'm talking about your crib is one of one. Unbelievable. But the whole Atlanta know you live dead smack in the hood. Right off Old National, 2 blocks away from the blackest Walmart in the state. You ain't had a good night's sleep since you moved in that motherfucker. You not in Atlanta breaking houses. You weren't about them niggas jumping your wall every night.
I mean, the only real story here is, the interesting part is, I didn't know Meek signed that deal at 19 and he's still in it. That's an interesting thing. Can't be because he hasn't recouped. I don't know. That's an interesting thing. I don't know if that's true what he said with that. That's really interesting. I want to look into that. Them dudes going at it, man. You know, I don't know where this goes to. You know, very unique way to have to approach someone that has proven that they're financially stable, right? So you see, you got to take that off the table. That's like a superpower. You know what I'm saying? So when you get into it with somebody like that, you want to kind of take that off the table, wrestle that out of his hand, you know, and hope that you're able to point out some other things. And that Meek Mill thing is a hell of a situation. Outside of that house is beautiful. That house is a hell of a home. That house is a hell of a home. I think he got his own security and all that there, but that's a hell of a situation, man. We hope them dudes can sit down and speak about it. But the question I have is, what do you do when you stop rapping? I think Ross has given a great example of how to transition out of rap. If we don't view, you know, that contract dispute or whatever that situation with Meek is, if we look at him just transitioning out of rap and still being able to maintain some income in a way, I think it's undeniable what he's been able to do without the mic being on, right? So I think he's worked himself in a very unique position, right? Coming from the South, being able to work his way up. I think he's been lucrative. I think he's made a lot of money. And those liquor deals, right? You see, no matter what, he gonna incorporate that brand. He gonna do brand integration no matter what. Put the brand, man, you get a bottle, you get this bottle, and Bel Air boys. I see another thing he's doing. I said, ooh, that's good game. He telling people, man, you know, make yourself a brand ambassador. How I'ma know you want to get out? So that's, you getting free posts, free marketing all across the country like that. You know, so I see some of the game and I say, yo, they putting real game down, and he's been able to sustain a certain interest, a certain level of culture equity, you know, as he's not been dropping or has been as hot as he once was, and still been able to be viewed or look like he's been able to keep going up in regards to his standards of living. So I don't really know. Like, I think this is interesting because Gilly has also now worked his way into a very unique space in podcasting where he's making money and doing well in that space, right? Wallow is next to him doing well. So, I mean, these are two dudes that's financially in a good place, and they just boxing with their words. You know, I think it's a good conversation to be had, you know, but the CO thing, the interesting thing I know about the internet, and I think we all are learning, is they forget. Right? They forget. So when you bring up something that you thought everybody knew, and they be like, what? That was the, like, what? That was the shit. People don't be knowing. You know what I'm saying? That was 10 years ago or something. It's like, people don't be remembering that. You know what I'm saying? So he bringing certain things back up. It's going to wake certain people up. Like, what you mean, bro? What's that? You know, some of them youngsters. Speaking of Meek Mill, he's been in the news as well this week. Reports came out that he has dissolved his relationship with Roc Nation in regards to management, and he'll be moving forward, going in separate ways, and the internet went into a firestorm. Meek Mill leaves Jay-Z. Jay-Z and Meek Mill no longer this and that. Meek Mill and he had to come out and tweet some things and realign and readjust to what he wanted people to understand. Like, yo, me and Hov got other business and we good. Yeah, it's 4L with him, you know. Them dudes really trying to help me do things and amplify my voice in a way that is unmatched. But I want to gamble a little bit with this thing. I want to put a little bit more chips up to the table. Right? I want to deal with a different dealer. See if I can get a different kind of hand, right? I believe I know what I'm doing at this point. Trust me to fly. I got my wings. And that's a problem with some people. They don't know when to fly. And so when you put the work in and you look at the work and you say, yo, I've studied what they've done with my brand, how they've done it, the channels they went through. I've along the way grabbed whatever resources that I thought would be necessary for me to excel in this next step. Because when you get into this entertainment game, you understand and see that a lot of wasteful spending is happening. There's a lot of ineffective things, right? They have some networks and shows that if you pay attention, you can tell that they're spending ad money to drive a lot of these numbers, especially on YouTube, right? It'll first come out and it'll have a certain amount. Then you look 2 days later and they're putting it in front of stuff and they're running their ads, which is a good thing. But the culture equity that it portrays, it may be deceiving, right? You can look at it and think that, yo, that situation is a big platform or a great podcast and not really understand how they willing it together. And it's so important to understand how the pizza is made. I preach to my people. Don't let these people keep selling you hand toss. And I'm talking in regards to information. Don't let people keep bringing you their interpretation of things, right? Help me understand things so I can view it with my view, with my lens. I may see something you don't see. Dreams is letters from God, so I might see it a different way. That risk that you think is we should never make, I may say that that's the one we need to do. This innovation inside of that risk. And innovation fix a problem, and to become something with a B next to it, you got to fix a problem or hustle super hard. Right? So again, this is high level game. I also want people who don't understand the business to understand that rappers get in a situation where, as people said, well, why would they keep Meek off festivals, or why would they keep? What happens is everything that you don't do affects your negotiation. Right? So if you don't see me on Rolling Loud, if you don't see me getting these certain looks that the label provides you, right? Not that I can't do it myself. I probably could. A little more of a headache, but certain times and certain festivals and certain things, the label provides that luxury, right? That label provides the placement on the playlist. The label provides looks over here and over there. And so when you're coming up on a renegotiation, and Jay-Z spoke about this in length on Twitter Spaces, but when you coming up to a renegotiation, why would we want to pump you back up? Why would we want to breathe life into a situation that's going to leverage that exposure on us, right? And also, if you are in here with a little bit more information than you had last time and leverage, that's uncomfortable for the people that's used to you acting a certain way, or used to rappers believing that certain contracts or certain companies are operating in good faith. Even in the entertainment industry, you understand there's very little good faith. Even when you speak about people that rep the culture and rep all this, there's very little good faith. You have to have a high level understanding of what's going on. Mandy, me listening to Mandy at Horrible Decisions put me on something, said, listen, don't let them trick you with the marketing game. The lawyer need to put in the contract verifiable marketing, right? Meaning we need to see where that money's going, right? Receipts or whatever that is in regards to knowing where the money being spent at, because sometimes they hit you with a $20,000 marketing thing, and then you say, what was it spent at? Well, across all socials. Okay, where? Let's get those numbers in, because I also want to run a back end marketing, and y'all already got my demographic down pat. Right. And so the collaboration tool is what we need to really start to activate in a different way. And sometimes you got to represent yourself for you to activate that collaboration tool. Right. And some of the biggest names in the game on your side means a lot. And that cosign stands firm in a lot of places. But to be one of them, you might got to do what they did, which is separate from the pack, you know, and figure out where this thing is going. Let's talk about NBA Youngboy. NBA Youngboy beat the Feds, right? Again, we got Lawyers for Workers Mo, who was there on the scene in the courtroom announcing out to the fans. They went crazy with him. He actually had conversation with Young Boy, interviewed the lawyers, right there with the lawyers. He was there on the scene, collaboration with the lawyers. If you paid attention, he had a team of lawyers, and according to Mo, they were high power lawyers. If you haven't listened to that episode right now, it's on Pateron. That video and audio is on Pateron. And man, it's a dope conversation. It's about a lot of this stuff, but we gonna deal with NBA Youngboy. He was charged with a felon with a firearm, and this is one of the federal cases. He has two, right? So this one he beat. The jury in this case paid close attention. I'm not sure that they got the details they were looking for to convict Youngboy on such a complex matter, right? The constructive possession attempt is a very interesting approach, right? Because you got to say that I know it was there and intend to use it or something like that. So it's a very slippery thing, not as easy as you would think, right? So anyway, and also the judge was very no nonsense. Didn't let the lyrics in, didn't let them do certain things, didn't, you know, it was just, the judge was very different than the judges in Thug and Gunna case. And me and Mo talked about that and why that difference is so apparent. This judge did not allow for any bull. It was nothing going there. She was not going, hey, yo, them lyrics, throw that out. That means nothing. What these pictures on social media, that has nothing to do with this gun. No, that's nothing. Right? So they were pressing now. He beat the feds. And he got to face him again. If they let him beat him twice, being the lawyer talked about that as well. If they let NBA Youngboy beat him twice, that's some different kind of clout they gonna give him. You know, I asked the lawyer, do you think they gonna cheat? Because I know they don't want to take two losses. I'll be honest, and I said this. This NBA Youngboy trial showed a lot of you rap something. I'm gonna keep it all the way honest with me. I think Baby might be the only one that got that type, that might got that if something ever happened, knock on wood. Well, that's another thing they doing that's unfortunate in the media. Oh, it's this person. Yeah, she said she gonna indict some people. We know who it is. Oh my God. Yeah, they weird around here. These folk here, man. These folk here weird. These folk weird, huh? Then it be ain't got a chance to ever go to jail talking about it. Nigga, wish that on me. Stop saying my name with that shit. Stop posting that. Know what I'm saying? Stop doing that. Then y'all be wanting me to come sit down and talk to y'all, man. Y'all wishing, man, come on, man. That's a whole nother thing. We're going to get to that in a second. But this trial with NBA Youngboy showed me something that he bigger than I thought. He bigger than a lot of you rappers. I'm going to keep it real. Them boy, that nigga fans outside the courtroom, like, well, he had to break out and run. They chasing him just to try to touch him, get an autograph, get a picture. Like, they touching him and screaming, oh my God, and falling out. And I'm thinking like, hey, yo, I thought it was an internet thing. Man, I swear I thought it was it's real. According to what I'm seeing now, assuming all these people out there is real and all this is the truth, I'm saying, man, it look a little more stronger than I thought he was now. I know he's strong, but God damn, he a little more strong than Loon thought he was. Them fans showing up outside court like that, man. Y'all fans got to show up, man. Y'all people going down, they need y'all voices loud, man. They need y'all fans loud. They need y'all loud. Not doing no, let me make sure I'm clear on something. I have corporate sponsors. I don't endorse going anywhere and tearing up anything, and I'm not encouraging anything outside of a peaceful protest to bring awareness to some of these subjects, right? But I think that the fans are too quiet on some of these artists that they claim they love. Y'all got to get a little louder because they need y'all right now. Y'all got to know how important it is for y'all to call and say, you know, whatever we need to sign to get it done. Let them folk know you paying attention, you know. But some people that might turn on like old girl, old DA in Fulton County. Seem like she'll get turned on if everybody start bringing it to her doorstep. I ain't never seen nobody announce an indictment in 60 days. How you gonna announce an indictment? What kind of shit is that? You telling me this ain't a media game? Y'all can't be talking to me like that. I know y'all playing a media game. I know y'all got different intentions. This ain't all police work. This some petty work. Yeah, it's some petty work in there. This ain't all police work. You announcing Ricos, man. Who doing that? Announcing a charge as broad as a Rico. Got the whole, every black rapper scared. You got every black rapper scared to death. Niggas can't say nothing. Cause you come out scaring them. In 60 days, you're gonna see some more. And I battled with this question with myself. I said, Loon, should rappers be saying f it right now, just loud about f them, not f them, but yo, I ain't doing no shows to everybody go sign this petition about lyrics in court in Georgia, or I ain't doing, or just lyrics in court period on a federal level. I ain't doing nothing to everybody go down here or using, hey, if you do this right now, you get this shirt and this, like, man, using that shit, because I think what's happening is a lot of rappers in Atlanta is being quiet about Thug and Gunna because they scared the police gonna get them. They said, boy, you know, she petty. You talk about it, boy, she gonna get you. If she coming home. I want to let you know if she coming, she coming. Ain't no talking or nothing like that that's gonna, she coming home. So while you can, you better use your voice, because we see what they doing to Gunna and Thug now. Ain't a camera out there. Them folks ain't even on camera doing Gunna Bond. That's why I was trying to wait to really dive into it, because I wanted to look and see the mannerisms and what's going on in court. What is the lawyer's mannerism, the prosecution? What are they saying? Ain't no video. I asked the lawyer that was out there with Young Boy about it on the other episode. You got to go listen. I'm like, why is it like that for Thug and Gunna? Why isn't it? Is that a tactic? You know, he told me in federal court you can't record, but in state you can. So what? Why wasn't it in the cameras? There's no other reason you can tell me you announced that outside of fear. There's no, you want these guys to be scared. You want these guys to be, and I'm telling you, I think I'm almost certain, and I don't want to say, but boy, I thought long and hard about should rap in Atlanta go on and be using their voices while they can, band together, try to get some fight back while you can, clean up, but fight back while you can, because if she coming, she coming. I don't think if you be quiet, she ain't gonna say. I don't think it's now. I think it's too late to, if you be quiet, home, she ain't coming. I don't think I think whoever she got under surveillance, been under surveillance, and if she coming, she coming. So I'm thinking, like, I might use my shit to be like, man, f these people, man. These people trying to, if it was me, come on this Up There podcast, right? Because I'm a thinking, right? So if it was me, my whole thing is I'd be reaching out to Loon. Hey, bro, I need to get on the podcast. Bet. I'm going to bring you on the podcast. We going to explain why rap is cap. Why lyrics is brought up in a way and they really don't mean what they mean. This is right now. Need to be done right now. Reach out to Loon. Right now. We need to be doing this now. Sitting down. Yo, man, you know, and you need to be telling me. Keep it real. You need to be telling me, Loon. I be just coming up with shit. You know, I'm just almost like a painter, bro. I just be in there. We just need to dive into that. Right? Give you a chance to get your side of the narrative out there, because they're being quiet. Gonna let her be able to use the lyrics and all that against you in a way that you ain't gonna be able to get out. But you come sit next to Loon, let Loon frame all this. Let us have a real conversation so the public can understand exactly what this is. Not nothing to criminate nobody. We talking just convo about what lyrics is, home. But everybody want to be quiet. Thinking, man, just be quiet, y'all. Just shut up. Everybody shut down. Nah, this ain't that. You supposed to get with savvy thinkers like me. Come sit down with me. This is my idea. Come sit down with Loon. Let me frame some questions, frame an atmosphere where we can talk about how fake lyrics are. And let me talk about that with some of the realest in the game. And that's how we save our brothers. And also how you give yourself a chance with your narrative to be painted, if need be, later down the road. Because it seems like they taking things that we're using as entertainment and using this. So you need to start planting some shit out there that you able to use. But NBA Youngboy had 5-6 lawyers, right? And I was thinking to myself, he still had that one that knew him from Baton Rouge. And a lot of people know that, your little lawyer from Baton Rouge cool, but these folk, they high power next to him, right? But you keep the one from Baton Rouge or your little small town because he represents your best interest. He really know you. So if anything, if nothing but keep him honest. You got a nigga represent your best interest in the huddle. So and you need to pay him to stay in the huddle. See, that be the problem too. These niggas so Sylvie, they don't understand that being a creative is a team sport, but it's an independent film. It's a team sport, but it's an independent film, meaning you pull from your brothers, and when your energy go up with these people, you in a better creative mood, and when it go down over here, when you wake up this way, is this good, right? And so your environment matters to your creative ability. But don't want to pay for those things. I keep telling you, if Dick Gregory was still alive, I pay him to stay next to me. The kind of mind I got. If I can find a dude that think like me or just, man, I'm paying, hey, stay right here, man. Just, I'm finna pay, man, because steel sharp and steel. And I know, see, they don't understand that. They think it's, man, they ain't around for nothing. No, sir. We playing mental gymnastics. Y'all don't know nothing about that. The money's a byproduct of that. Y'all don't know nothing about that. You ain't read enough. Catch up, mustard. But last week I spoke about the Gunna and Thug situation from a media perspective. I was disappointed that the media regurgitated some of this information that had me feeling strange, right? This lady was caught with weed for Gunna, and some of it was for Gunna, and you know, he's very dangerous, and these things just had me feeling a certain way. And so I spoke about why y'all didn't question anything. Why doesn't black media question when these people go against our folks in a certain way, right? Why don't we at least present the other side, not lie and not sugarcoat and not handpick and not do none of that old sucker shit, but not indulge in already made media? Y'all letting the oppressor write the headline, and then y'all just regurgitating and calling it black media. Now we got to create the headline. We got to frame that whole subject in a way that's inclusive, right? And represents what I'm thinking of the situation could be. But it's a lot of lazy media and clickbait journalism. It's almost like now I see this new blog type thing emerging where they're creating these moments around like relationships or children, like the McDonald's moment. I see another one going around of he don't want to pay for the dinner for the friends. Like, these things are fake. That's number one, right? But I'm interested in understanding how they penetrate. They move so quickly and get a level of marketing that I don't understand. So some of these subjects and things can't break the barrier, but these things seem to be doing just instantly. Boom. I was just disappointed in media, especially to be that loud about regurgitated headlines and then not show up down there with a camera. Somebody got to tell me why they doing that. Somebody got to explain to me. Y'all got to get some cameras down there. Y'all pay me. I'll come down there and do it. Y'all got to get some people in that courtroom to at least film what's going on, film how they treating the homeboys or something. Like all these rappers, y'all got to get folks in these. When Lucci go to court, when anybody go, y'all got to get some coverage down there, man. Y'all ain't going to change nothing just on the outside being quiet. That ain't going to do nothing. Well, let me kind of get into what I think about what they have against Thug and Gunna with the Rico. I always look at this case, and again, I'm confused as to how they're using it, right? Me and Lawyers for Workers spoke about this is groundbreaking behavior in regards to the application of the Rico, right? This is very unique approach, and this is not something that's ever been done before, right? And we want to be clear with that because that's important. What do you have to compare it to, right? So sometimes a law has been in effect so long and used in a certain way that you can be like, no, they've already been through this in 1981. Here's the case number. They overturned it because this is used in a way where I'm not sure it's ever been used. So that's very important. That allows you to misuse it because the understanding isn't there, right? It's the first time being done, so we kind of don't know how to defend it. We don't know what the appeal will look like. We don't know what you're willing to give us for something that you really can't prove. The judicial system is set up on evidence. Evidence is very important. It's actually the most important. But then you got to know they play with evidence. Because evidence, usually when you think about evidence, you think about what happened, right? But evidence ain't what happened, because sometimes just because it happened don't mean it make it in court, and just because it made it in court don't necessarily mean that it happened. So it's a weird thing that goes on with this evidence thing that they use. That's why they're able to loosely use these lyrics without any crimes attached to most of them. Like, we're riding with snipers. They didn't say we pulled over a car with snipers in it. And this is the evidence on June 22nd. Car was pulled over behind rapper such and such that had snipers in it, prepared to go. They ain't never done that. But they're able to use that. They have snipers. It's like, yo, this is how they are able to apply this law. But it is important for me to speak on it because, again, I think Fulton County is doing a tremendous job and abusing their power. They're playing a very interesting game, and shut up or we'll lock you up is what the atmosphere feels like coming from Fulton County. It's almost like Debo kind of behavior, like you'll be next, rich dude. We'll come get you and ruin your life if you say something about this case or say something about a lot. Like, it's a weird thing, man. And them dudes is, man, they going through it down there. And you see Kodak Black they hit him with trafficking. They overreaching with these laws. I know they just want some money from him, but the law probably say if it's this much money and this much, then this is considered this. When you know the dude ain't, it's ugly. But this is how they applying the laws against specifically rappers, and we need people to look into that. We need colleges and institutions to look into this and come with some real data we can present. Somebody has to fund these kind of operations. I want to really hammer home the understanding of why I believe the no camera thing is a trick, because it's important to understand that if we're able to get cameras in these courtrooms, we may affect the so-called jury, because we would like to, and in a perfect world, be in a place where the jury is unaffected, but they're playing the media game. Hence why they always put these little things out. She got caught with weed. Some girl was bringing this in for this person, or this person was caught with drones coming out. Where's the proof? You catch a drone with his name on it? Like, what are we doing? And also, the court of public opinion is very important to this jury that may be on these cases, right? You might got a jury that's been affected by some of these headlines that's been able to go out. Wow, they got people trying to sneak stuff in. Like, this is a game. So why are we only playing that game when they want to get negative stuff out? Why isn't it a camera in the courtroom analyzing the case? Because I talked to one of his homeboys, and he made a great point to me. He said, Loon, how they denied Gunna his bond, and he turned himself in and everything. He knew they ain't even bringing that up. Yo, dude, may could have got on a private or something, shoot, got out of here. Dude went and turned himself in. Then y'all got him on very limited involvement. He go up for a bond. Y'all come up saying, hey, before you think about a bond, somebody been trying to sneak stuff in here for him. When was this? You know, it's very erratic behavior. And you hear me talk about her playing the media game with the announcement of in 60 days it's going to be another, right? But it ain't a game. You taking black men from their families. If you using crimes, use your crimes. But don't use the lyrics. When you're using the word, see, all skin folks ain't your kin folks. When you black and you understand the terminology, or you even understand influence. I know your boyfriend probably ain't one of them kind of dudes that gonna do nothing, but he gonna puff and look tough when somebody tell him they gonna smack him. But he ain't gonna do nothing. And you love him. So you know everybody ain't doing what they saying they do, but y'all using these lyrics. And if you got the crimes, present the crimes. Don't wish it up. Hey, there's some crimes over here, but hey, listen to what they said. Boy, this is how we know some of them crimes was them. No. Let me speak about this point. The DA in Fulton County came out and said in 60 days you'll see 2 high-level indictments. And all of the media started to say who they thought it would be and who, you know, was on their list, who they felt like was. And for me, I wouldn't do that. I'm not going to say who was on my list and all of that, because when you create those kind of expectations, just imagine somebody clout chasing see the whole internet say it should be this person. Oh Lord, don't let it be this person. Don't let it be. And she's sitting back like, that's who I want to get. The person they don't want me to get. I don't know why y'all do that. That'd be weird, man. Key things that she said was high profile cases. She didn't say rappers, but everybody went to rappers because she is targeting rappers. If I was a rapper, I'd go and start detoxing or something. Just in case. I'd be in the free world on some detox shit. I'd try to get that together if I was on some, or because some of them is on drink and all that, and that make them first 90 days kind of hard in that jail. But again, I believe rappers should drop their nuts and speak on it while they can, speak on it while they out here. Stop workage or influence their fans to create some noise about that shit, man, because it ain't gonna stop, and it ain't gonna be no be quiet and she ain't coming. She on some other shit. She reaching and overreaching and painting pictures of shit without evidence and indicting folks, then mixing them up. Some of these folks over here done some crimes, and then you make you a part of his gang. See, here's the trick. Get you and some of your homeboys commit a crime, make y'all a gang, make you the leader of the gang, say that your homeboys' crimes were to further the gang. But I believe without statements, it may be hard, but it ruins your life. It stops your life, right? And also, I heard academics say that, and that was a good point, said that they not going to be able to drop new music because they're using the lyrics against them. And so their artistic ability and their artistic freedom has been taken from them because they would go in this booth, this elaborate studio, and create these moments, right, where they rap to a culture of listening fans about a numerous amounts of things, you know. Go get some of the most absurd lyrics where dudes say, I'm climbing over the moon and whatever. Just saying in that way, it ain't no way they doing that, but, you know, they create these moments in the studio. But I'm going to be honest with you. With this lady announcing this indictment, which I think is one of the most embarrassing clout chasey kind of things that a DA can do in Fulton County, she announces that in 60 days there'll be 2 more high profile cases. If I was a rapper in 58 days, I'll go on tour out the country for 6 months. Yeah, 58 days I go on tour. I'm out the country for 9 months now. I'm in Turkey. I'm in Ireland. Nah, I didn't expect no indictment. I got out the country tour. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. And I'm already out the country. You know, I'm finna go on out the country now, and they are planning the tour, and then I just move around from there, just to see what's going on, man. Negotiate me a bond. She playing with people's lyrics, man. It really feels like they're trying to take Atlanta down. It feels like they're trying to take that city, the rappers in that city, the urban scene in that city, and send a tornado through it. There was something I saw the other day, and I'm not even from Atlanta, but a lot of people I follow I saw that beloved that does the parties, I think her name is Shannon King on Instagram, or Miss Shannon or something like that. Excuse me for getting your name wrong, but she had posted that they have a new law that they're trying to pass, that if 2 people get injured at a party at your business, that they get to shut you down for good or something like that. That's a hip hop thing. They don't even classify bar fights the same. Like a white boy bar fight, they don't classify that the same, right? No matter what happens. But that's an attack on nightlife. That's an attack on this scene that everybody loves in Atlanta, right? And that's what I'm trying to say. She's putting an attack on those people who are influential in that space, and she's been able to convince people who don't know any better or don't know these rappers that they're dangerous, that they're committing all these crimes without actually applying evidence to them. And I'm not saying either way. I'm just saying I thought the judicial system was set up in a way where you have to apply crimes as part of your evidence, or evidence to point to your crimes, right? There has to be something there, and you can't just be in here saying they are followed by snipers and you have not arrested anyone with the credentials of a sniper. That's how I feel about that. My understanding, my very limited understanding of the law. But again, she didn't say rappers, you guys. So stop putting that on a rapper. Maybe it's not a rapper. She said 2 high-profile cases. But don't give somebody clout chasing the ability to get some clout, right? And all these blogs, Winsley went up with all these names. I'm like, yo, this is a weird space I'm trying to get in. I gotta handle this with care, man. Right? Cause I'm on a thin line, information and entertainment. I ain't playing that game. I see him though as I'm walking through the tunnel. I see him playing that game. That's a ugly game to be stuck in, man. Don't wish the jail on a dude, man. Come on, y'all. She said 2 high-profile cases. We know she's targeting rappers. I see the thinking. I see the line of thinking, but you're not going to get me somewhere guessing on who's going to jail for 20 years. Who's she talking about, y'all? Knowing that she clout chasing by announcing it. Let's talk about this. Wack 100. So Wack 100 supposedly got into a brawl at a concert, at a game concert with the Rolling 60s. A guy named Tiny Draws ran up on him again. Out on the West Coast, you're always named after your big homie if you're affiliated. It's the understanding that I have. And so for those of you, Draws is Big U. And so Tiny Draws, from outside looking in, based on what my understanding would be of some lineage, you know, in regards to the neighborhood. And I always have said that Wack 100 has invited a lot of unwarranted issues because of Clubhouse and the internet, you know, unless there were issues behind the scenes and he just brought them to the light. I always said you need to be careful not to be defending the invisible throne, right? And dealing with the internet, a lot of these dudes is defending invisible thrones, right? These little positions as the winner on these little social sites, or the person that get the most clicks and likes. These things are starting to really affect the metaverse, is starting to affect the universe. And as we watch these two worlds collide and merge, it's just interesting to see how situations like this occur, right? So this seems to have evolved from some internet shit to now this is street. Seems to be like some street beef with this now, right? All these other things is like it's a fair one-on-one. When I catch you, me and you will get the finance. It's like, now some people want to talk to you about some things you said. They you know, and it's like now you on defense, and sometimes your defense make you move totally different. So the word came out that, yo, Wack got into a fight. Them dudes ran up on him, hit him in the head. He jumped off stage and ran. So Wack went to Clubhouse and spoke about it. The interesting thing about this conversation I'm about to play you is that when he spoke about it, the dude who actually allegedly hit him shows up. Let's listen.
If we gonna do what we always did, coming from our era, you gonna let them get out of it, then we get to it. I didn't jump in my motherfucking car and speed off behind my family. I got them through. And maintain my position.
Nah, but why you throwing corrupt under the bus?
Nah, Wack, I got all that. I got you on that. All that's solid. But I'm saying, you said a brother from another set, not yours, put his neck out there to let you know.
That he from his set. He need to be dealt with. He from them set. He a snake. I'll never trust that.
It ain't about trust, but you had your family and he gave you a shout out. Why would you throw
Nah,
him
bro,
under the bus?
we wasn't think he just let me know for a reason. But he playing the 52 because he go on stage and act like he was on some other shit. Catch that little ain't nothing. I know what I'm gonna do with him, but I catch up with him. I've been knowing that 20-something years. I ain't too much I can do with him. He's 80 pounds. He's an alcoholic. He be having seizures and shit already because his health is bad. I'll catch up. I know what to do with him. That ain't saved my life, bro, because you got to remember this, bro. It's my event. I got there before the security got there. I'm really just eliminating what could happen to a bunch of innocent niggas. They the ones got search coming in there, not me and not us. What you talking about? It's my event. I'm in the building at 4:30 before the security and the metal detectors come on. So what I'm doing is removing myself and my soldiers from a situation where I know where it could go. They in there wide open. We ain't. What you talking about? I took it out to a more clear playing field. I ain't into the innocent people catching these slugs, but you know, have it go the other way, it go the other way. Either way, I was straight. I wasn't slipping. I ain't never slipping.
You a liar.
Period.
You
I
lying,
wasn't never.
nigga.
So at the end of the day, that's what kills me. It's amazing how y'all want to see something happen to Wack. Man, if you that
Hey man,
close
hey,
to
hey, hey,
it,
look, stop.
hey, yo, listen. So I come in here to listen to y'all, answer a few of y'all questions, but I'm not having no back and forth with no that's already on with. Y'all went to the internet. Y'all could have kept it off the internet, let it be what it is.
Put that on Pyro.
Who am I even talking to?
You talking to Tony Draws. Put that
You
on
talking about the
Pyro.
busted nigga that looked me in my face going up the
Put that
stairs
on
and say nothing?
Pyro. Hey, look. All you gotta do, cause we ain't gotta do no yelling. We ain't gotta do none of that, bro. Put that on Pyro.
Who is you though, bro?
This is Tony Draws, Cash.
Well, what are we talking about?
We talk about what happened when you walked up them stairs. Put that on Pyro.
What happened?
You didn't get smacked in your head and you didn't get
I ain't
socked in
no
your face.
nigga touch me. Nigga, what are you
Bro,
talking
put that on
about?
Pyro.
Why is you want me to
put
send a
that
picture?
on Pyro.
Hey, you or no
man,
other
man, look, bro,
touch me.
put that on Pyro.
You or no other touch
man,
me.
look, I'm not, bro.
Your uncle bitch got drew down on.
You put everything to smack you in your head.
You
put that on
Pyro.
Pyro.
My head. Where you
put that on Pyro. Put that on Pyro. You didn't run on that stage.
Y'all sent the picture with my eye circle
bro,
like it was my eye.
Bro,
so
we only
was it
hit
my
you
head
about
or my
3
eye?
times.
I put that on your raggedy mama.
Put that on Pyro, bro. That's all you gotta do.
I
you put everything else on Pyro. Put that on Pyro and nigga smack you, nigga.
Your mama.
Put that on Pyro. That's all you gotta do.
My
yeah, all right, brother. You know what time it is.
When is that time while you on the internet?
Yeah, man, come on. You know what time it is.
If it's that time while you on the internet.
You know what time it is. Nigga, stop all the games, bro.
If it's that
stop
time
all the
while
internet.
you on the internet.
Stop that internet shit.
Why you
left
on
the
the
show
internet?
early.
Oh, forgot
you left
rapper.
the show early. That happened to you in the garage, and the shit that happened to you on that stairway is two different incidents.
What happened to me in the garage? Just see if you turn
the two things that happened to you, you got caught in the garage.
What happened to me in the garage?
You got caught backstage, nigga. Two different incidents.
What happened to me in the garage?
Come on,
let me put some context around it. While you listening to this, you must understand that when you go to saying things about Nipsey and all them dudes, right? So they're part of the Rolling 60s. The Rolling 60s is one of the biggest gangs out there. We're going to get Big U on the pod and speak about gang culture and all of that. But Rolling 60s is one of the biggest neighborhoods out there. And so that means there's a lot of people that's looking for you if you disrespect them and might have obligation to try to figure out or make some kind of example out of what you've been saying, right? And it seems like he's caught himself in a situation where now he got those dudes on him. As you hear dudes say, this the first time, this won't be the last. It's like they gotta embarrass you. They gotta bring that persona down that you got. And that's what I was saying. You don't want to never create that, because now that becomes a trophy. And you don't never want cheese on your head like a Packer fan. You don't never want money on your head. You don't never want to look like a target, right? You don't never, if you can avoid it. To some people, you're going to look like a target. That's just how life go. But you don't want to will your way in a position where you is defending an invisible throne.
And Corrupt didn't tell you nothing. You won't hear capping.
What happened to me in the garage?
Call and tell you nothing.
Hey,
you capping, because Corrupt was on that stairway right with us.
Tell me what happened to me in the garage.
We came down the stairs. You was coming up the stairs. You was with Kanye West, wasn't you? He had just walked on stage. You thought he was about to walk the stairs. We met right there at the stairway. We didn't say no words. We cracked you in your head on Neighborhood Crip. Yes or no? Put that on
What are you talking about?
Put that on Pyro. What happened?
Put that on Pyro. Back there, bro. How you
put that
cracked
on
me and then rushed
bro?
me?
I'm not doing all this weird shit. Put that on Pyro.
Okay, so you say that happened on the stairs. So watch it. What happened in the garage?
It happened on the stairs, nigga. And then
so
you ran to the stage.
Then?
You, the tall
I'm trying to establish something.
Man, look.
What happened in the garage?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Get your lies off.
That's my point, little bitty.
You ain't put nothing on Pyro, though.
That's
on Pateron you ran.
Nigga, keep Pateron out your mouth.
I'm going to keep saying it. You ain't going to do nothing. You had the chance to do something, Mr. Standoff.
Bro, it was 20 of y'all on one.
It wasn't 20 of us.
On my mama, it was 20
Nigga, you was talking about the parking garage.
How many of it was it?
Man, it wasn't 20 of us, my nigga.
How many niggas was it before I put the video?
It wasn't 20 of us, my nigga. Stop the lies, bro.
Put that on 6-0, I let the video go.
It wasn't 20 of us, nigga.
Well, it wasn't 20 niggas in the garage.
No, it was not 20 niggas in that motherfucking venue. It was not 20 niggas in that venue.
20 niggas in that garage.
It was not 20 niggas in that venue,
I want to make this clear, because I will release this footage.
Yeah, release it.
So it wasn't
release it.
20
You always
y'all
talk
in the
about what you
garage.
gonna release. Just like you said you was gonna release something on Nip. You weird, nigga.
Y'all, hey,
man, look, bro, ain't nobody got time for all these weird ass shit. You keep up this internet shit, and we gonna keep hollering at you in the streets.
Are you saying the footage on
this
Nip
internet shit up, and we gonna keep hollering at you in the streets?
You ain't finna holler at nothing.
All right, we hollered already, and it wasn't how it's supposed to go. We hollered already.
You niggas, why you didn't get at me? Why didn't you get at me?
That was the way you left the venue early. Genesis to put that on Long Beach. Tell nigga, your artist game came to Deja Vu and came to the strip club with the Rolling 60s after we did that to you.
This shit is hilarious, man.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Did Game come to Deja Vu?
I don't know what
did Game come to Deja Vu and party with the Rolling 60s?
Game was already booked for Deja Vu. He was going in with
who you think booked him?
You
weirdo. Who you think booked him, weirdo?
You didn't book him. So
who
here's
you
the
think
question.
booked him, weirdo? You know
did you look me in my eyes when you came in the venue?
And you got smacked.
Did you look me in my eyes when you came in the venue?
On 6, I looked you in your eyes and you got smacked.
Did you say something?
Man, I smacked you. It was no words.
When you walked in that venue, did you say one word to me?
Go get your little tall black friend that pump fake that saved your life.
Did you say one word to me when you looked me in my eyes? Come on,
what happened after we socked you?
Face to face. You didn't want that.
What happened after we socked you? You said it swung on you. You stood. You had a standoff. What happened after that?
Bro, didn't nobody swing on me down there.
Bro, you on 6-0 grip. You said a nigga swung on you.
It
came out your mouth.
What you talking about, bro?
Man, come on, cuz. You know what time it is.
Was you in the garage?
Can't play these little. You can't play these little narrative games with me.
Was you in the garage?
You can't play these narrative games.
I looked at you dead in your eyes when you walked in.
Bro, you got smacked, bro.
Ask this when you walked in the venue. Hey, bro, you didn't want this.
Bro, you got put that on Pateron. Put that on Pateron. You didn't get smacked.
Out your mouth, bro.
Put that on Pateron. You didn't get smacked.
Out your mouth.
I don't give a fuck about none of that. Put that on Pateron. You get smacked. Tell that nigga.
Man, keep telling you to put it on Pateron, bro.
Hey, bro.
Put that on Pateron. We just smacked you,
bro. Hey, bro. That is an enemy. Hey, that is an enemy. He can't. Hey, bro. He can't move me to put nothing on my set, bro. It don't work like that.
Shut up, Buster.
I scream it when I want to scream. My enemy ain't gonna make me scream shit.
Stop running.
Running?
You talk about you was with your wife and kids. The nigga said that he was in a BMW truck parked right behind you. And said you was solo bolo. Which one is it, nigga?
Wife and kids were in 2 different cars, you stupid.
Shut up. You lying.
You stupid or something?
You lying.
Are you dumb or something?
How young back?
Go ask your uncle if he didn't see my daughter.
How young back? Let's talk about a little back.
Who's back? I don't know.
You know who back is.
I don't know.
You know exactly who back is.
I don't know who that is.
You know exactly who back is. Stop playing these games. You know about Marky Mark. You know about Stutterbox. You know about Dale Dog back. Stop playing these games, nigga. Stop playing these weird ass games, nigga.
No.
Stop playing these games.
Hold on, what's Stutterbox got to do with something?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You saying I'm on paperwork?
Yeah. Bro, am I lying? Put that on Pateron, you not.
Wax on paperwork?
Put that on Pateron, you not.
Put that on 6-0 wax on paperwork.
6-0 crib. You on paperwork. Put that on Pateron, you not.
He put it on 6-0 on episode 60.
Man, put that on Pateron that you're not on that case.
Produce it.
Put that on Pateron that you're not on that case.
You know I'm the one got told on,
Put that on Pateron that you didn't make statements.
I ain't on none of them cases.
Put that on Pateron, you didn't make statements. Put that on Pateron.
Get in there.
That means you should be able to produce
the
paperwork now, Frank.
You put that on 6-0. Now you got to bring the paperwork.
You know exactly what's coming.
Bring the paperwork. Hey, bro.
You know exactly what's coming back.
Hey, bro. It's a back called Murder Rap. Watch this.
Man,
hey, look,
come on.
This has seemed to spill outside of the internet. It seemed to be going in a very bad direction. Now it seems to be some sort of fair game going on in which boundaries was in place prior to a lot of these interactions that went viral, a lot of these conversations, a lot of these things. And the other week when Big U came out and said, can't no my name and apologize, you kind of felt the energy of like, nah, this is, you done said some things in front of the world that's uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So it seemed like that now they want to see you about that. The internet being the internet, they pop out with a video.
Hold on, y'all hear they verse. About every game, every set, nigga out there got shocked out, ran to the front and jumped off game stage. Nigga let out that motherfucker. That is officially a buster.
What's your version of it? My version is, man, Tiny Draws put them motherfucking bombs on that.
Hold on, we ain't doing no names now. We ain't doing no names.
He put them bombs, he got his mother.
We ain't doing no names.
He put them
We ain't doing no names now. Good
y'all hear that?
Hey, listen, he gonna remember the Novo. He don't remember nothing else in his life. Remember the Novo.
And remember who?
He gonna remember. Oh, he gonna remember not to be saying names that he know he ain't supposed
to. So you don't talk about us.
No more. Yeah, but off his motherfucking artist stage. Niggas straight mark.
Y'all hearing it? It went down. I couldn't get it fast enough. I couldn't get my phone out. Whack 100 got we not put on him. Talk this about this his town.
Look like he wanted to
So those were a couple of videos that were found online. Those videos were a part of that whole situation. I think the bigger loss or the bigger takeaway from this is that the relationships that have been lost due to just the access to a microphone. See, there's also an art in speaking on the mic without speaking on the mic, right? Divulging enough, but not too much. Enjoying your time on top, but not falling in love with it. Enjoying your time on vacation, but understand work is back again next week. You can't fall in love with these invisible chairs, man. All this musical chairs. That's why you can't not embrace the people in front of you or behind you, because all this is musical chairs. At some point, that person gonna be on top. You're gonna be needing them for something. That's just how it works, man. Unfortunate or fortunate for people. That's actually a fortunate thing. The people that work hard will get there. It just will take time and it's a slow burn. It ain't a fast break. But I hate to see that, man. The relationship that been tampered with him and Big U with this situation has been very unfortunate. It's one of the most sad things to see is that a Crip and a Blood was what we thought was close, and now it's been severed, and there's actually things happening behind those two guys running into it. But the level of things that's been said, you got to be like, oh, man. Let me break this down too, man. In business, they respect the dollar, and we often go to the voting table with our emotion. So last week, I spoke about Brittany Griner, and again, my heart goes out to that sister as she has been chosen to be a political prisoner. It's not even a fair trade. They're trying to trade this woman for an arms dealer, a guy that will get people bombs and things like that. They want to trade NBA basketball player, one of the most famous female athletes that America has at this point, and trade her for an arms dealer that will give people missiles and things of that nature. It's a very unreasonable trade, but this is what they're trying to do. She's a political prisoner. They just gave us 6 more months. But when I spoke about, man, I wish we can find a way to do this without bringing LeBron in it or bringing another athlete in it that's of our color. And the reason I said that, and I'll get a little more into it, because it can get blurry. It can get muddy, foggy. So it's important that I kind of drill it down a little more. The reason I say that is not because I believe LeBron is better than her from a moral standpoint. And I think it's important we not lose focus, right? Let's point out the real differences because it can get confusing. And on the outside, you can say, well, they're both black. They're the same. And as much as we would hope that could be the case, is that it's that simple. It's a very complex equation that we're dealing with, right? So when we look at them, they're both black. That is right. That is something that we can agree on. But LeBron, and this is why I said we got to give credit when it's due. LeBron is one of the biggest corporations in America. Just him, his name, his brand. One of the biggest corporations in America. So that's a business move. And what we need and what we've always asked for is moral moves. It's a business move to reach out and get somebody like a LeBron. Although it's unfair and it can be viewed as unfair. Right? Because it seems to not, it's hard to understand how one person can weigh more than the other in terms of morale, and that's not what they're weighing it against. They're weighing it based on business. LeBron being captured in that way would mean that a lot of these businesses would be affected, and as weird as that sounds, America moves on by the beat of their own drum, and they're interested in money. And at some point, that may be the Achilles heel. Hypothetically, if they did have LeBron and they seen him go and get LeBron, some blacks would be confused that they went and got a black man. Now they went and got one of the largest businesses that America has to offer. There's a lot of blacks that'll get left over there. We were lucky that they got ASAP out of there. It's a situation where you can get lost in that, especially when they asking for those things. And again, she got 6 months before a trial and she's pleading and begging, and I just think it falls on deaf ears, unfortunately. Them people are interested in what they're interested in, and they don't have emotions. They have emotions, but not in the same way that Americans have emotions. Americans in the Western world have developed a certain attitude, a certain bravado about them that the rest of the world doesn't share. I remember when I'm out the country, a lot of these other countries don't even respect personal space. You be like, yo, you too close, my boy. They be like, yo, this is just normal, man. They drive, you think they driving crazy. Nah, this is how we get down here. America has created this bubble around each person. And it's getting, that bubble is getting bigger and bigger as you see they're adding to that bubble where you can get under certain bubbles and be able to carve your way out of society or carve your way into society in a way that's effective for your little bubble, no matter who is detrimental for. But we're asking for a moral move when we ask for Brittany back. And we're asking Joe Biden for a moral move when he did the 3-strike law. Yo, to see Joe Biden up there, man, hurts my feelings in sometimes. Like, this is the leader of the country that's going the wrong way and reading the teleprompter, read line twice. He read the teleprompter and read the line twice, bro. He read the line that says, read that line, repeat that phrase. It might have been something like, and America is as great as it'll ever be. And he's supposed to say again, and America is as great as it'll ever be. But instead, he said, and America is as great as it'll ever be. Repeat line twice. And we know. And he just kept going. He's oblivious to, I just made a mistake. One time he come about the podium, went the wrong way, stuck his hand out, wasn't nobody right there. I'm like, this gotta be fake. They can't tell me this is real, bro. Like, this can't be what we have, bro. Like, come on, y'all. Let me speak about this too. Boosie has got his Instagram page taken again, and he's fighting a losing battle. What's gonna happen to Boosie, and I'm trying to give him a little game. If he don't know or the people around him don't know, they're gonna put the robots on him. What has happened is when they shadow ban you or they flag you or something, they put you under really surveillance for negative comments or negative this or negative that. And so what happens is now that you go, because let me frame it. For those of you who are unaware, Boosie Instagram page was took, and Boosie went on a rant on Twitter because he was upset. A lot of the money that these artists make is tied to their Instagram. Their influence is tied to their Instagram. Rarely do they grab things off Twitter and paste it on Instagram or some of these other sites. what people post on Instagram translates in the media as news a lot of times. Twitter too. Twitter has its own world where that happens, but Instagram in a way where video and picture is involved with it. But that for a personality like Boosie, that is a very important tool to have. And he had 10 million followers at one time, then built one up to 3, got that took, 2 took. And this one I think was out about up to 1 and got it took. So he goes on a rant, talk about their kids, their wife, they husband, saying that let their family die. I said, they gonna put he don't understand they got the robots on them. They can put the algorithm against you. Right? Not that they can hide you, because if Shade Room them post you, that's cool. They can even make that go away. They can make it where if Boosie pop up on Shade Room, they blackball them for 6 months. They will stop posting him. Like, they gonna start going to that route to get rid of his loud voice, because he be loud when they doing bad like that. He come out with some shit, but I'm telling you that they have such a sophisticated algorithm and a sophisticated approach to how they could take these pages down, lift these pages up, blackball, shadow ban, increase, decrease. Some of these platforms, man, or some of these pages, they have the ability to influence in a real way, and so they can interfere with that. And these people ain't losing their bag to stay cool with nobody. This is business, so they will stop posting Boosie. But what I'm saying is they can literally do something like that, and I think you need to be on the lookout for that. That's a real thing, man, in my opinion. You have to think about that. Let's talk about this, and then we'll get out of here for the day. Gave y'all a long part. I know y'all appreciate it. Make sure you head to Pateron to show that. Blueface and Christine Rock. I always watch this relationship. I don't speak about it a lot because love is love. And I know love is a weird place. It's an agreement that we make with each other that I put you in a category that is very rare that people can get into. I put you in a category that the people that I share blood with are in that same category. I try to separate you from other people in a way. So I try to tell you I love you and be involved with you and show you I love you in ways, right? So love is slippery, and it's a place, it's a weird thing. When I watch this girl that's in love with Blueface and some of the antics and things that came along with her, one thing is clear, that she's loved this guy. For me, I ask myself, Loon, how far do you let a girl go? Right? Because Blueface is dealing with, I believe he loves her. But I don't think he's taking into account that she's cutting off all her avenues to leave. And that's what scares a man the most. Sweetheart, don't go to cutting off all them avenues. Well, I'm going to let my house go. No, ma'am, keep your house. I got all the bills over here. Keep your house, though. Matter of fact, here goes something on that. Keep that. Don't cut off your avenues to where if we have to part ways, it's an easy process. This girl went and put Blueface on her tooth. Man, how I'ma leave you and you got me on your mouth like that? Man, don't never show up with me on your teeth, man. You done pissed me off showing up with some kind of picture of me on your tooth, man. That ain't proper. You thought that was flattering to me? That done pissed me off. Now don't show up like that to me, sweetie. Now I love you. But now don't show up with me on your tooth now. You got my name and my face and that, well, it's cool to me in your mouth like that. That ain't proper. I ain't with all that. You cutting off your chances to be able to leave me. Now I'm finna be stuck with you. And stuck ain't never good. I don't give a where you stuck at, it ain't fine. You can be stuck anywhere, it get old. No, I want the freedom to leave her, but I don't want to leave. Love is the ability to go, but don't want to go. Not, man, I'ma feel bad for leaving. Shouting, man, she got me on her tooth. Man, my tattoos all on her face and my neck. Man, no. But I also know you got some girls that, man, them tattoos don't mean a motherfucking thing. In 10.1 seconds, they had them shit covered up with something else. Right? So sometimes you be too emotionally attached, and the tattoo thing is game. Y'all don't want to have that conversation. I'm going to wait to get when I get some of these girls on here that done got a dude tattoo name. Some of that be game. Now, some of that be the trick, but I think it's rough when a girl just cut off all her avenues to leave. It's like, damn, you fucking with my conscience. Like, how I'ma leave? Like, damn. That's why I be saying, like, she took the Benz, she took the dude Benz truck off the corner. She done knocked people out and shit and done shit and went against Wack, his manager, went against his people, but he love her, he with her. It's clear he with her. That ain't fake. That ain't a fake thing. He with her. I'm just saying, damn, baby, you might be not. I don't want to feel like you forcing me to see how a motherfucker can force you. Now even her, let me move on from them and just speak about relationship. A motherfucker can kind of force you into a corner 3 now, where you got to take the shot. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker start just showing up every day, getting your name tattooed on them, then got your key made. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, y'all together. Now, when y'all together, to keep, see, that's the thing. What do you do as a woman to keep your man with you? Do those things work? I know if you my woman, like you a grown woman, you my woman, and my name and face or something is on that thing, and I'm hitting it, it means something. It be a powerful little thing, but it don't be powerful enough for you not to let a hit that. There's a lot of women that still let a hit that with Johnny written on their ass, smacking their ass with Johnny on that motherfucker. His name Leroy. You understand? So sometimes them girls ain't right, but sometimes it means something to the dude to see it. That's why I say a lot of times that tattoo is game. But Christine Rock probably got 5 tattoos, and she's becoming a little star in her own right. Or, I mean, at least sustain a career in the entertainment space. Shout out Zeus Network. That's the home of Jocelyn Cabaret. I got a couple of they people following me. Shout out to them. She's on a couple of shows over there. She's on another show. So she's getting chicks for doing little things. Then she be saying things like, I get my chicks and I give it all to him and my dude. And it's like, yo, that's rough, man. Like, you know, maybe he be with her for life, but that can end bad, you know, when you have a woman that's really, really, really putting that much faith in you. Cause you putting a lot of faith in me not to make a mistake. Unless we got it understood, sweetheart, I ain't God now. I might go left at any minute. And I might try to come back and come back proper. But boy, you don't need to be putting all that in me like I ain't finna make no mistake. Or now that's a lot of pressure, home. Like I don't be wanting that. But love will make you throw away your common sense. We know that. I just don't want a woman to cut off her access to leave me. Right? Hey baby, you got me on your tooth. How you gonna smile at another get me off your teeth now? Cause you might have to leave at any moment. I ain't no prisoner of love. There's some expectations on us to expand. Yeah, if we can't expand, this got to dissolve. I'm dealing with people that's interested in my expansion. Nah, I don't want the Chrysler that look like the Bentley. I want the Bentley. Diddy told y'all that. I'm one of them. So if this ain't helping me expand, if this ain't complimenting me, if this ain't putting me in situations where it can advance my confidence or what it is I have going, because that's what I'm willing to provide. One thing about a person, they never need to ask for something they ain't willing to provide, nor ask for something that they can't provide. I'm comfortable with what my requests are because I know what it is I provide. See, a lot of y'all are uncomfortable asking for $5 million because you know you're not going to work the $5 million and walk it down. A lot of y'all uncomfortable asking, will you marry me? Because you know you ain't got the credentials to be no husband. A lot of y'all uncomfortable asking, hey, baby girl, can I take you on a date or can I come? That's why I was talking about last week. It's uncomfortable saying, yo, can I come to the party? You know what I'm saying? And it make them react in a certain way. And so now we treat each other bad. I want to be clear with my supporters that through this journey, right, this journey that I'm on, I believe in me. As I get around the winners, the getting money in the game, I see how different the atmosphere is. Be limitless when you're around the right people, right? There ain't no 10 on it. People think about their dreams as attainable versus not reachable. And a lot of times believing is 60, 70, 80% of what's needed for you to even get past the threshold. Whether you delusional or not, you need to be in a position to believe you can go to the next level. You got to sit with the winners. The conversation is different. We talk about ideas on this side. We try to live by the code and stay next to information while people hate on us and try to box us into gossiping. Yo, if I wanted to gossip, I gossip. Ain't nothing nobody gonna do about it. But I'm dealing with information and my people know that. But it's important I sacrifice the luxury I had of being in stealth mode for the information I got being on the forefront. Life has been good. I respect the journey. I got a long way to go, a lot of work to put in, and I got great people on my team. I trust the process. I've read the ingredient sheet, and I got every one of the ingredients times 10. I'm prepared to do this 10 times over and comfortable enough to do it 15 or 20 before I think about what I've been doing. But I thank y'all, man. I'm on this journey, man. You know, I got so many people calling me, celebrities hit me every day. So many people reaching out to me. It's like, it's just a waiting game at this point, man. But if you here right now, I thank you, because you had the right time. Like, you here to watch it change from this to what it's gonna be. Like, some people will come after it is what it is, but we celebrate the people that's here now and supporting us in a real way. Speaking of that, I do have some clothing line that just dropped, or a new merch item that just dropped. I expect for people who's been through some of these things to get some of the taglines from my culture conversation line that I've launched, right? In which I may say something and then they'll take it and put it on the shirt. One of those lines is the feds didn't get mine, and that's now on the shirt. And although that may be looking as boasting, that's looking at it as, yo, I went and hustled and didn't have to worry about the federal penitentiary. Like, whether I got mine from real estate, whether I got mine from, you know, they didn't, because what they doing is capturing your people, your family, and they taking their money and their resources, right? And I just want to stand up and say, yo, the feds didn't get mine. We ain't have to go that route. We went another route. The feds can't get mine. Legal. Know what I'm saying? And we want to celebrate that in the culture. And when we can do that, man, we can really feel, in my opinion, better, right? Because they need to see young helping each other, young coming up and saying, yo, I ain't had none last year home. Hit my DM, made a call. Them folk cut me a check. Not that I for nothing. Don't nobody deserve something for nothing. Now one of you deserve something for nothing. You nigga think you deserve something for nothing need to go somewhere and hide. Yo, I'm a firm believer in putting the game down. It's Up There podcast. Make sure you come to Pateron to check out the Lawyers for Workers episode. Mo, the person that was there with Young Boy when he beat the case, that helped his legal team, spoke to his legal team. That is out right now. Great conversation. Make sure you come get that. Make sure you get the feds and get mine merch. Make sure you hit Loon up, man, and let's build. Let's get it going, man. It's Up There podcast, fastest growing in the world, man. On God and gang.